I need that sports encyclopedia. U.S. Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut.
What are you?
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. From day one, you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
he's. Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you all. God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you. Coach JB Show.
We are in the building. It is Truth Telling Thursday, and it is draft day. So let's go. It's time to go. A lot of guys will get drafted today. Their lives will change, or will they? We'll dive into that here in a second. The show is powered by BetUS TV. Head on over there today. Use our promo code Coach JB. Tonight I'll be doing a live draft party, watch party, overs and unders. Powered by BetUS on all the draft picks, where your favorite player will land. We'll do all that. I'll have guests joining us, tapping in, and I'll just be sipping some yak, smoking a stick. And we'll be watching this thing unfold as a bunch of young men's lives are changed. We're going to dive into my take on that right here. Before I get Smitty in here, it is NFL draft day, and there will be many, many young men who have their lives changed forever, or have they already been changed forever? And this is just another payday, similar to what they just got in college. Yes, I'm not sure if the draft is what it used to be. Not sure if these kids love football like we once did. How can you, though, right? How can you love football if you're already being paid astronomical amounts of money as a teenager? I think you've been desensitized to money, because you have already made it. It comes down to your personal drive, your wants and your needs in life. I have talked to several people in the NFL leading up to today, draft day, and they don't believe loving football is a thing anymore when it comes to these kids. It's a shocker to many, but not to me, as I've been saying this for many years. I believe there will be trades today, picks that shock us, picks that have you drop your jaw, but nothing surprises me anymore in this day and age. But what do I know? Shout out to legendary Steve Mongo McMichael, who passed away last night. The Hall of Famers, a long battle with ALS. Family friend and a good friend of mine, Jared Payton, the son of Walter Payton, announced yesterday that with deep sorrow, I share that Steve McMichael passed away at 5:28 p.m. April 23rd, after a brave fight with ALS. Surrounded by loved ones, I'm grateful to have been with him in his final moments. Please keep Steve and his family in prayer. Shout out to a legend. We had Dan Hampton on the other day, and I know they're like best friends too. And I didn't bring it up for a reason, because I know that Steve was going through it. But shout out to Steve McMichael, man, one of the greatest to ever do it. I think he averaged 7 sacks throughout his career a year. 7 sacks a year as a D tackle. Pretty impressive. And then he changed his life over and went over to wrestling a lot of you guys in the chat that are young probably don't even remember his whole path. But let's bring in our main man, Far East Sider 317, Naptown legend, LeBron Hairline Heaven, Lamar Jackson loving, AR5 defending, Caitlin Clark jocking, Fox Sports very own Big Smitty joins us on this
Yeah. What's going on, y'all, man? What's going on, man? It's draft day. Johnny Manziel. Yes, sir, man. We here live, man. I can't believe it's NFL draft day, man. Like this year been going so fast. It was just New Year's.
Yeah,
we were just making our resolutions for the year. What we gonna do? What's the goals? And it's already April 24th.
You haven't done any of them.
Y'all need to get y'all lives together. I'm telling y'all right now. It's almost 2026. I'm telling you right now because you still got a little bit of time left.
Yeah,
I've accomplished everything I wanted to this year. So like I'm good. JB hasn't accomplished one thing this year.
You told me your resolutions, and you haven't accomplished not one. You know, I mean, I'm not saying you have to accomplish your resolutions in the first 3 or 4 months of the year, but you haven't even started trying. Based on what you told me.
Tell me what you've accomplished in the first 4 months. Based upon what you said you was gonna do, homie. All right, then we're both in the same boat, homie.
I didn't say I was doing anything though.
You did say that.
I said I was gonna drink more.
But you haven't. But you haven't. You've been drinking turmeric and cayenne pepper and lemon.
I was gonna fuck less. Get my deuce of more.
That's because you don't get pussy.
Get my deuce of more. Fuck less. That was my whole goal.
None of the stuff you said has happened. That's the fact. You don't
get more head, less pussy. That's what my whole goal was.
But you're not. You're getting less than less, homie.
Man, more.
You a single man with one AE. Make that make sense. I don't know. None of my single homies has one AE. Makes no sense. So,
well, those you don't. I'm not making I'll get all that, but like it's not like it's. Oh,
forget all that, man. We wouldn't be us.
Is that
without members and fans like A. Ron. Love and respect. God bless.
That's how you say his name?
A. Ron, homie. He said 99.99. Shout out to A. Ron, man. Brother. He Mick.
A. Ron. He white. A. Ron.
That's a brother, though. Look at his nose. Look at his lips and his chin. Like, that's a brother.
He's actually Puerto Rican, but anyway.
And shout out to other people in the chat, too, like my man Shaun, my man JP, Hood, TJ Riddell, Matthew Bayer, Quinn, Andrew Nats, Finney Baller, Kelly Under Chandeliers is back after her hiatus, Jordan Scott, Boston Richie, Brian Stewart, and Roberto Del Villar. It's going to be a loaded show, homie.
Where you see Jason Young at? Where you see Jason Young at? I saw Shaun Waffle said Jason Young. Where you see Jason Young at?
I seen them on Jason Young.
Oh, there we go. Jason Young.
What you talking about right now?
Jason, is this you, Jason? I had a coach in college who's from Kansas, Jason Young. So I was just wondering.
Shout out to Sean Mills, man. Y'all starting to show off the right way. Y'all getting me motivated. I'm getting more. Every time the money comes in, I get more energy.
Yeah. Save some of that for tonight, though, because tonight's a big night with the draft party, watch party. So don't give Smitty anything else. Whatever you give Smitty today, I'll give Smitty. But other than that, cut that off. Give it to me tonight.
Keep paying all that right now.
Yeah. Milroe will not go in the first round. Well, he may go in the first round, I guess. Mediocrity is a new excellence. So he may go in the first round, but he's not going to go top 10. And today, Smitty and I are going to be doing our top 10 as we got an NFL draft analyst, Arizona Cardinal radio host and reporter for the Cards Wire, Howard Balzer. He'll join us today. Steve Kim, of course. And then we got Oklahoma Sooner legend Kenny King joining us. So get to talk to him about the what's going on in Oklahoma. So we'll talk to him about that. Smitty, let's dive right into it, though, because today is a big day for a lot of folks. I don't hear my lead in. Rest in peace, Steve McMichael.
Yes.
But you heard my lead in. Are these players really as hungry and love football like they used to? I don't know if you saw this tweet by Jay Glazer, but I brought this up, and then somebody sent me this, and I was like, wow, this is something I've been saying for a while, Smitty. I don't know how you can really invest and love football if you're already being paid as a teenager. And Jay Glazer said, interesting thing came up in my draft prep calls for the year as teams have pulled players off boards for A, injury concerns, B, character concerns. We already know those things have been around since forever. But a third category now, Smitty, is taking guys off the board that don't love football. This was first year that it was very prevalent to a lot of people. I don't know why this was the first year. I think you should have nipped this in the butt years ago because I saw this coming for a while, Smitty. I think it's really simple. It's very obvious. I don't know if this was a real crazy take, but he said he asked around and said, is it because of NIL money? And basically guys are saying, yeah, the love of football is probably not appreciated like it once was. I've been saying that, Smitty, for how long?
A year and a half, 2 years. So,
well, I'm just saying, I don't know if this is a crazy take. Like, this has been a problem for a while. It's kind of obvious when you give somebody $200 million in the NBA, they're probably not working like fucking Kobe Bryant in the offseason. It's just human nature. I'm not knocking nobody. I'm just telling you that's human nature. This 17-year-olds, Smitty and I say it every day on the show. You give us, a 1 million, a little less, 3 or 4 when we're 18, 19 from the hood. Shit, I don't know if I'm gonna be as hungry as I was, homie. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I just gotta be honest. So
I'm actually opposite though. I think if I get the money, it's gonna make me hungrier because one, I'm like, damn. So that means when I work hard and play well, I get money. Oh shoot, I want some more of this. Number one, number two, I'm gonna feel like I owe whoever paid me because they paid me. That's just how I'm wired.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can.
You're talking about you, Darnell Smith.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids are like me too.
You got to open your eyes, homie, and say, but that's not what you're seeing, though. You're not seeing Darnell Smith. You're not seeing a cat.
I'm seeing some.
You're not a some. But look at the watered down product that we're watching, dog. This is, like, I can sense it, Smitty. I smell it in the air. I feel it, homie. These cats ain't hungry like that. I'm just telling you, dog. There is no incentive no more when you already get paid. It is what it is.
Why did you play football?
Because I loved it.
Okay, so I believe there's still a lot of kids who love football. Every kid don't come from the hood who play football. I know we always talk about that. There's a lot of kids who come from like two-parent households who got
let me
work to finance. So for some people, money isn't the motivator for some of these kids. They actually love the game of football. So like I still believe there's a lot of kids who love the game.
Too bad that a lot of those players aren't very good though.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, it is. I'm just giving you the real.
Like Cam Jordan is a guy. Cam just an example. He never really needed money.
He older than you though. Older than you though. I'm talking about now. Keep the thing. Talk about the main thing, homie. Tonight's draft night. These cats ain't Cam fucking Jordan.
Shador loves football.
No, I don't believe he does. Not like
he don't need money at all. He don't need to play football.
That's my point.
He don't need to do none of that.
Aren't you making my point?
Shador could have just chilled his whole life.
Aren't you making my point? That's my point.
No. My point is that he don't need it, but he still does it because he loves it. That's the point.
No, my point is he still does it because he does it. He don't need it. He don't love it. We needed football, homie. That's what you're not listening to. You're not hearing me. We needed football, and this is the reason we needed to make it. Our aspiration wasn't to be an NFL player. These cats ain't their shit no more. The freshman who hasn't taken a snap at Colorado's rolling around a fucking Lamborghini, homie. You're telling me that this motherfucker's going to walk around and be fucking hungry to play in the NFL in 4 years? Come on, man. You guys got to
find different motivation. Hold on real quick. Homie, time out.
Like bullshit. You guys have no clue, homie.
You and I's favorite NBA player of all time, Kobe Bean Bryant. Daddy was an NBA player, hooped overseas, two-parent household, siblings, lived in Italy, homie. And he probably the hungriest athlete I've seen of all time. You got to find that inner motivation within self. Money isn't the only motivator, homie. Stop playing with me.
I think I actually mentioned Kobe in my lead-in.
On my face.
I think I mentioned Kobe in my lead-in.
I didn't listen to none of your lead-in. I was getting ready for the show.
First of all, Bean made about fucking $3,500. Number one, in the NBA. Number two, We're sitting up here comparing millions to 17-year-olds. Kobe Bryant, and that was my whole point. How many Kobe Bryants are you seeing in this draft, homie? Like, how many Kobe Bryants have you seen mentally? How many Kobe's have you seen lately?
You only know 20 players who's getting drafted because you're at a point now where you've been out the game so long where your players are kind of already like in the league or whatever. So you don't know a lot of these kids either personally. So we're just guessing. That's all I'm saying. We're just guessing, homie.
I'm just telling you though. I can. Come on, homie. Like, I've been doing this a long time. I know real recognize real. I can fucking feel the energy and the vibes of a fucking player who's hungry and who's not. These cats ain't like the same, homie.
Oh, so you tell me Ashton Genty ain't hungry to be great? Be real.
I didn't say him. I'm just telling you overall. So we're talking macro here, not micro. You can hand pick a bunch of kids.
We can just keep naming them, homie.
You can hand pick them, homie. You can show me a bunch of kids, but out of whatever 267 of them,
yeah,
I bet you there's 80% of them are going to be like, oh, fuck, how hungry are they? They didn't even go to the combine, Smitty. You're telling me they love football? They won't even go to the combine? The top 50 players in America, they're turning down the combine, but they love fucking football?
That's been happening since
homie.
Ever before.
Get the fuck out of here, homie. You and I would have missed the combine.
Ran his 40 and left the building, homie, because he didn't need to run it, homie.
Everything, homie.
Stop
it. Defending everything. Would you have missed the combine?
I'm not allowing you to lie to my fans on this show.
Would you miss the combine? Would you have missed the
combine? Put my foot down, I stop it, homie.
Would you have missed the combine?
No.
If you were invited?
No, I would not have missed it.
Exactly my fucking point, homie.
But I wasn't a fucking 5-star guy, guaranteed first-round guy, homie.
Stop.
I went to Ball State, chirp. I was a 2-3-star coming out of high school, homie. I was an underdog. My mentality was different. If I was a 5-star guy, guaranteed first round, and the combine could do nothing but harm me and my money and my family, then no, I probably wouldn't go because I'm smart too, homie. It's not just about the love. You got to be smart, JB. Are you smart?
You're not taking smart takes. You don't have very smart takes. You don't sound smart today.
Stop saying take. I don't like saying take no more because when you say take, it's too close to the show that it has take in it. Use another word, homie. Open up the dictionary. Go find a word that's not take. Say smart, something else. Smart, whatever you want to use. Don't. From now on out, we're not saying take no more on this show.
You're not very smart then. But I'm just not. I don't get it. You'd have guaranteed been at the combine. 50 best players, you got invited.
For
the love of the game, you wouldn't have slapped it in the face because you would have accepted the fucking invitation and showed up. You're sitting up here telling me these kids love the game.
Homie, if I'm a first-round pick, top 15 pick, homie, and my agent's like, hey, D, I know it's very exciting. Let me let you know right now, though, man. The only thing you can do is harm yourself at the draft. You are guaranteed top 15 pick. I spoke with the Saints. I spoke with the Colts. I spoke with this. I would recommend you not to run. It's not worth the risk. Okay, homie, it's business, homie. I love the game, but it's still business, homie. What the hell? It's like you leave that part out.
It's crazy that
it ain't crazy.
Even everybody that we have on the show, legend, Hall of Famers who sit up here and tell you until you're blue in the face and you sit here and still disregard it and say, nah, they're wrong. Game's not the same. You still up here talking about the shit's the same. These kids still love it. These motherfuckers come. Legends come on the show. Legends come on the show and tell you these kids ain't hungry. These kids ain't hungry. It ain't the same. The game is soft. And you still sit here and tell them they're liars.
I didn't. Whoa, shit. I didn't call them liars. I didn't say it was the exact same. I said it's not as bad as you perceive and you put out.
Well, it is.
It's not as bad.
You
make it sound like it's horrible. Like these guys.
It is. Well, it is.
The same. The same OGs who come on this game, who come on here and we ask them how they feel about the game. They also say, man, hey, it's still a very physical game. You got to be a grown man
in the trenches, homie.
They say that same. I still watch the game every single day. I still enjoy. I'm passionate about. Like, so don't.
Well, Smitty, be real.
Tell the full story, homie.
Well, the full story.
Show the whole 10-minute video.
A lot of cats that say that are still making money off the game, so they have to watch it. 10-minute video, homie. They have to watch it. Come on, homie. Like, be real. And all they have said is the trenches is where it's physical because, yeah, they hit each other at the same time. Boom.
That's not the only point in which they were saying. We had multiple guests asking the same question, and they all still love the game, and they're all not still getting paid, homie. Some of the guests we've had are not getting paid at all. They're out here doing. They got to hustle.
Yeah. Well, you're wrong. I'm right.
You're wrong. I'm right again.
Quote of the day. Let's get to it. Powered by BetUS. Cooking Smitty already. It's already 6 in the morning. People haven't even started cooking yet, and I'm already cooking.
I know this quote gonna be horrible, so let's go. Let's get to it.
Yeah, quote of the day. Powered by BetUS. Smitty's energies is horrible today because when he gets cooked, he gets mad, and then it turns into like crybaby, and then the whole show goes to shit. So we'll try to fix it for all you guys out there watching. I'll try to get Smitty back riled up. So maybe somebody could drop a super chat for Smitty. And get him happy for being cooked already this morning. Quote of the day, Smitty. Be the one they talk about when they say, I don't know how he did it.
Ding, 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 ding. Bottom 5 alert. Bottom 5 alert. Bottom 5 alert.
I knew he was going to say that.
Horrible effort.
Can you put it in context, though? Because it's hard to do that quote. Because it's 2 quotes.
I mean, I'm not exactly. You should have thought this through. I know what you're saying. You're basically saying, like, be that guy, be special, be the guy or gal that people are amazed by. But
be the one they talk about. So be the one they talk about when they say. That's it. And then there's a
quote. Just said that, homie. Like, really?
Then there's a quote. I don't know how he did it. They say about it all the time. You tell me all the time, like, damn, JB, I don't know how you did that shit.
I don't know.
You text me every day. You text me that every day, and I'm like,
every day.
And I'm like, the humble person I am. I'm like, man, Smitty, don't worry about it, dog. You'll get there one day. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's how it is.
I'd be like, damn, JB, I can't believe you said that shit. I say that. You must get my words mixed up.
You say that a lot.
I can't believe you said that, homie. Like I wouldn't have said it that way. Like we
argued. But I am the guy they talk about when they say, I don't know how he did that shit. Like that's me. I don't know if you knew that. But
replace how with why. But continue.
No. Contrary to belief. Powered by BetUS. Smitty, mindset is what separates those who dream from those who do.
That's cool.
Mindset.
You bounce back a little bit on that one. Like, again, that's one of those ones where I would not rank, but it's a good one to just live by. That's like one of the ones where, like, if I like woke up every morning and I had like a little quote app, a motivation app, that would pop up as one of the options. It's like it's not original, but it's good. Like it's cool. Like it's a good message. I think Hector need to hear that this morning. Nate need to hear that this morning. So it's one of those cool ones, but it's not original though.
Yeah, I've set the bar so fucking high that it's now mediocre is the new excellent.
Why are you making excuses for?
No, there's no excuse.
Okay, I'm pretty sure.
So like, I'm set at a ridiculous level. A lot of you guys expect like a top 5 every day, so I get it. I agree with you, Wizzy. I set myself up for failure, so it's cool.
G Wizzy said JB needs to roll 300 yards for this lazy ass effort this morning. I couldn't agree more, G Wizzy.
That's how great I am, though. I set the bar so high that you guys expect greatness, like unbelievable greatness every day.
Yep.
But that is greatness. You just don't know because I'm so ahead of you guys that will hit you in a couple of days, and you'll be like, "Damn, that quote really hit me." And I thought it was bottom 500. It's crazy. But
the longer JB has to explain himself about a quote, the weaker it is. Like it's becoming weaker the longer you continue to talk about it.
Well, let's dive into the poll question then and see how weak this is. Will Shedeur Sanders fall out of the top 10, Smitty? Please answer. Please say what I think you're going to say so I can fucking cook your ass tonight when he does. Go ahead. Tell me.
I guarantee he won't. I guarantee Shedeur will be drafted top 10, homie.
Facts?
It's a fact. It's not an opinion. My sources close to the game and close to what's going on out there in Green Bay, they have told me that Shedeur is going top 10. And I actually have the exact team of where he's going to later on. Don't bring it up yet when we do our top 10 drafts. But, that's neither here nor there. But I know where he's going, actually. It's not like an opinion. And you guys will be finding out and being surprised, but I actually know what's happening. It's a fact, homie.
I'm racist today because I'm going to say no. He does not. I think he falls out of the top 10. So, no, he will not be drafted in the top 10. So, I'll be racist. I'm sure D. Jones and everybody will call me racist. I don't see it. We're going to do our top 10 mock draft here in a second. I don't see it. This is a joke to me. This isn't my take. Bailey's fucking with everybody. But this is apparently someone wrote this. I don't know who, but this is straight out of draft day, Smitty. They're just making up shit now. And Sean Salisbury and I yesterday defended Shedeur, by the way. The GM or the coach or whoever the fuck's anonymously said that he's the worst interviewer and the worst this and the worst that. have some balls and put your name on it, homie. I don't really fuck with you if you can't put your name on who you are. If you're a coach, Smitty, then why don't you put it out there? Anonymous coach. That don't even fucking sit well with me, anonymous coach.
Hate that, homie.
I mean,
names and numbers.
The GM thing's one thing, Smitty, because 32 out of 32 GMs, I think only 2 or 3 played football, which is crazy to me, but that's a whole nother show. But if you're a football coach and you can't put your name on it, I got a problem, homie. Because, like, what are you scared of? You going to coach the kid one day? Because you don't know what team drafts them. That's the fucking problem. That's why you don't put your name on it. You're scared. Yeah. But if you're gonna say it, don't say it then. Like, that's all I'm saying. Let it come out on its own. It'll come out on its own. The GMs and the coaches, the head coaches, should have already done their due diligence. I'm pretty sure, right? They already know whose son it is, of course. They know the lineage. They know all the other things that come with it. And here's one thing I think before you raise your hand. Put your hand down, Darnell. I think that they're scared of his daddy more than him. I've been saying that for a while. I think that they're scared of his daddy more than him, and the fact that his daddy could possibly be the replacement coach in some organizations.
Right.
So while you're yawning and have horrible energy, I think some of the I got top monotone for you to understand. Some of these GMs probably are scaring the coaches by saying, oh, we draft him and Deion's going to end up being the next coach. So I think he falls out of the top 10, though, because of skill set and needs for those particular teams that are in the top 10. And somebody will probably make a trade or two. I'm sure we see it every year. And I think it's going to happen within 2, 3, 4, or 5 with the trades. It's talking trade-wise. I doubt Tennessee does anything, but seen crazier shit before. But I don't know. I think they're scared of their daddy more than him.
That's actually a good take. Yeah, because, like, if Shador doesn't play well the first year, everyone's around the city's going to be screaming for Deion. And let's say Colorado doesn't have, like, let's say they have an average year at best, but it's not the best year in the world. People are going to be screaming, like, to bring Deion in to coach his son. So that's actually a good point. Another angle I'll throw out there, obviously, I said I guarantee he's going to get picked where he's going to get picked. But another possible, like, angle that's interesting is if he does drop, then I could see the Steelers going ahead and getting him. And Shador was on, the Max Crosby's podcast the other day and made some weird comment. Like, Max asked him who's the best quarterback wide receiver duo in the NFL. And then Shador basically said, whoever is the quarterback alongside DK Metcalf and George Pickens. That was his actual answer. Whoever is the quarterback alongside DK Metcalf and George Pickens. Why the hell would you say that? The only names we've been hearing was Aaron Rodgers signing there. So I guess you could technically say that. Or potentially, I think you falling there. So to me, I'm thinking like, I wonder if it has Mike, and we know Mike Tomlin and Deion, they cool. Like, so don't be surprised if the Steelers is one of the teams that trades up. I don't think I don't think Shador just falls to 21 naturally. That's a lot of teams to pass up. And there's a handful of teams that needs quarterbacks within those picks leading up to the Steelers. So I don't know if he would just fall to 21, but I can see the Steelers potentially drafting up. And maybe they don't draft up to the top 10. Maybe they get to, like, I don't know, that 12th pick with the Cowboys. We saw Jerry Jones say, like, they're open to doing trades and all type of stuff going on there. So, like, potentially Steelers could draft up based upon.
I don't think you or anybody else in this chat watches fucking football. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, we think this guy's a top 10 player. You're really fucking delusional. Like, that's the problem. That's the fact. The kid is not good. Like,
ask you a question. He is good. You're cat.
I'm not. I'm gonna go on this tangent that I've been on, homie, because I'll be the one that stands on the hill. I'll be the one that takes the heat because I got big balls, homie. I'm trying to protect you. I don't give a fuck what you think about him. He's shitty. The kid's not very good, homie. That's on everything. That's on everything. The kid ain't very good.
Hold on.
So hold on. I'm just going to go to your point. The Steelers moving up is asinine. It's absolutely laughable for a team to go up to get a fucking rookie quarterback who's not very good, and you think Mike Tomlin's going to really bring him up in the draft to lead the fucking team with DK Metcalf and George Pickens, homie? Oh, you know what his greatest attribute is? He's tough. You know what it is? Tough has numbed you weak motherfuckers, because that's just football. We used to get hit in the fucking kneecaps, homie, and get up and play, because that's what football was. So the kid gets low cut. In today's game was a bitch move by the defender who hit him low, the play we all know about. He pops up and plays, and everybody's acting as if this motherfucker did some shit we've never seen before. You know why? Because the rest of the fucking people around him are pussy. And we've pussified football so bad that when this kid gets up and actually does his job, we anoint him the greatest thing since sliced bread. All he's done was be tough. But he can't operate, homie, from the pocket on time. Oh my goodness, the sacks he takes are fucking unbelievable. And we're going to move up in the draft for a cat that we don't know if can get rid of the football on time to lead the Steelers? That's what you just said. You said he's going to be the starter in Pittsburgh as a rookie. Holy fuck, homie, you're delusional. You prime sexuals really fucking kill me, homie. Go ahead. I'll wait. I'm going to listen to you now.
Babe, jump in real quick. Factor cap. Did I specifically say that Shedeur Sanders is going to be the starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, you don't trade up, Smitty.
Bailey, they're talking to Bailey right now. You spoke, Jason.
You didn't say that Mason Rudolph is going to start there.
You implied it, though.
Implied?
You definitely implied it.
You didn't say who was the starter then, homie. Who's the starter then, homie?
Bailey,
tell me right now.
Bailey, did I say he was starting? Yes or no?
Who's the starter?
Jason, your job is to fact or cap. Did I factually say that he was going to be the starter in Pittsburgh?
No, that's your way out.
No, but you implied it.
That's your way out.
I didn't say that. So anyway, moving on, keeping this thing rolling. You are the biggest Sanders hater, not just Shedeur, just Sanders. You don't like Bucky.
Because you don't like Shedeur. You don't like
Shiloh, and
you don't like the truth.
You don't like.
And you're the biggest nut rider. You're the biggest sexual nut rider.
That was my turn to talk. You came on this show and you said Shedeur Sanders is shitty. You and I both know that's not the case. Now you can say maybe he's overhyped. You can say maybe you don't think he's as good as advertised, and you can give reasons behind that. That's all fine and dandy. To say Shedeur Sanders is shitty, either A, you don't know football, which I know is not the case, or B, you're just hating. And I'm going to go with the latter. You're just hating. Nobody is shitty who turns the program around from 0-11 to winning 9 games. No one is shitty who goes out there and throws for over 4,100 yards in the season and 37 touchdowns. No one is shitty who has the skill set that he has. We're not saying he's Peyton fucking Manning. No one's saying he's going to be the greatest quarterback of all time. We're saying in this draft, he's the top 2 quarterback. Point blank, period. And if you need a quarterback, you go out there and you get Shedeur. That's all we're saying. You have no problem.
We're not saying that.
You have no problem with Cam Moore going number 1 overall, do you?
Don't say
you
we're
have
saying.
no problem with Cam Moore going number 1 overall, do you?
Because he's the best skill set in the draft.
Between Cam Moore and Shedeur Sanders, do you truly believe Cam Moore is just lights out, just night and day, that much better than Shedeur Sanders? I know you don't believe that, but you have not once mentioned Cam Moore's name or had any issue or problem at all with him going number 1. Why is that? Because you don't have no hate in your heart for the Ward family. Your hate only goes for the Sanders family, and that's facts, homie. Now you can talk. Cut that, Paris, and post it ASAP, please. Thank you.
Don't post it because he just needs to defend. He has to feel good with the Sanders dick-riding sexuals. So don't post it, Paris, because he'll look even worse if he posts that on social media.
Paris. Don't confuse Paris. Don't confuse.
Bottom line is, if you say anything about the Sanders family, I guess you're a hater. So I just want to
when you call the son shitty, you're a hater.
Well, he's not the top 2 quarterback in the draft.
Say that thing. Say that.
I've already said that. You just said we're saying he's a top 2. No, we're not. I've never said he's top 2. When?
Me and people with brains are saying that.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. And the bottom line is, homie, you let your emotions of the prime sexual fan base
call me that.
Make your mind up. That's crazy.
No, I let the tape tell me that.
You gotta be a leader, homie. You gotta be a leader, homie.
I let the film tell me that.
No, the film doesn't tell you that. Then you don't know quarterback play. You should just
Jason.
You just talk to D-line then. Just talk to D-line on the show no more from now on.
Jason, it's me and you here. The fans are not here. We're offline. Bailey just ended the stream. Look me in my eye, man to man. Shedeur Sanders is shitty. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Shitty.
I mean, he's not very good.
Oh, I mean, shitty means not very good. So
Well,
you're saying
yeah.
he shouldn't be drafted?
Let's keep it in context.
You crazy as hell, bro.
You just said that they should trade up for him.
I didn't say should, homie. Lord Jesus, it's like
What do you mean? What'd you say then?
I'm about to tell you exactly what I said. I said, don't be surprised if he does slip, if he ends up in Pittsburgh. I said, I don't see him falling all the way to number 21 where they're currently at. So to me, the only way for Pittsburgh to be able to get him would be if they moved up. And the reason why I said that is because he was on our friend and your friend Max Crosby podcast the other day. And Max Crosby asked him who's the best QB and wide receiver combination in the league. And Shedeur Sanders specifically said, whoever's the quarterback for George Pickens and fucking DK Metcalf, who play for the Steelers. Why would he say that? Jason, common sense. Why would he say that?
Why did the Giants GM son post a fucking video game last night, homie? What do you mean, why? Do you really believe why? It's propaganda, homie. The kid knows he's slipping. He's got to say some hot take to get back into conversation. What do you mean, why, homie? Like, you guys, it's absolutely laughable, homie. It is. It's really laughable. Like, it's so laughable that the fence that we give Deion Sanders' family over real shit out here blows my fucking mind, homie. The kid is average as shit. Skill set, athletically, arm talent, processing, fucking everything. Then we don't even want to talk about the fucking just pure fucking dumb shit from my quarterback that I have to deal with every day. We're not even going to go there. We're not even going to go there yet. And I'm supposed to sit here and dock the motherfucker. I'm supposed to dock that.
He had no problem with it.
No, how do you know?
That team loved him. How do I know? Because every single time they
No. You said me. You said me, homie. Don't put my name in it, though.
I know, homie.
Don't put my name, though. You said me, homie. How do you know I didn't have a problem with it?
No, I didn't say you. I said like.
Oh, well, I don't care about what they do. I don't care about what you do, they do, anyone does.
Teammates matter more than your opinion. Your opinion don't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Your opinion means shit. You're not on the team.
Nothing. Exactly.
Players.
Exactly.
Okay,
I never. Why are we comparing this motherfucker to Cam? Why are we really comparing him to Cam Newton? Stop, homie. You're gonna look really dumb.
Celebration. You mentioned this. Come on, homie. Is your process not working today? You need to get your brain rolling today. We're talking about the fucking. You did this.
Smitty.
Stay on track.
This motherfucking Cam Newton won a goddamn national title, homie. Are you shitting me, homie? You really comparing this fucking nobody to a national title quarterback? Clowning? Are you fucking serious? This tells you how much fucking prime sexuality you have in you, homie. Like, this motherfucker's defending Shedeur Sanders over Cam fucking Newton, Heisman, Natty, first round. Are you fucking serious?
No one's saying he's Cam Newton as a player.
You just did, homie. Everything you say. Everything you say.
His teammates was doing it with him, homie. His teammates did it with him.
No shit.
He was scoring in the O-line.
And they're all shitty. And they're shitty. 13-12.
9-4, homie.
Hey, guess what, though? His fucking jersey's retired, homie. His jersey's retired. So, God damn, you.
That's what it is. You just a hater because your jersey didn't get retired.
You're salivating,
you didn't get drafted.
Salivating.
Let alone go first round. So to me, it's all just like hate. This is just hate. You just
salivating? No, I'm not hating. I'm actually a real one. I'm actually a real one who actually defends players that I know who won there, who's not up there. That's what I do.
All the time isn't being real.
I think I could pay you off, and you'll go against your own homie and not defend them. Like, I can give you money. I give you money and say, hey, defend.
Move that way, homie.
Defend Shedeur Sanders, homie. Defend Shedeur Sanders over your homie. But I'm the hater, though, when I defend my boy Darian Hagan, though. I'm the hater, though. I'm the hater, though, when I defend the real number two. When I defend the real number two, the real number two in Colorado, when I defend the real Deion Figures, I'm the hater, though, because we put his ass up in the fucking rafters already. Come on, man. Miss me, homie. This sounds crazy,
all these conversations about Shedeur into one bubble so you can sound smart and out here winning.
I'm proving to you I'm not the hater.
We're talking about the NFL.
I'm proving to you I'm not the hater. That's what it is.
When you're
getting crazy, it is.
You mix everything into one bubble. You make a
really
jumbo pot of Shedeur Sanders.
I'm just proving to you. I'm just proving.
Where you know you can probably win the argument with
I'm
the
just proving how much you glaze. How much you glaze. That's all I'm proving, homie.
I'm not glazing at all. I'm the actual real one. I'm the realest. I didn't say, oh, this guy right here, I've never seen Shedeur Sanders.
Nobody watching this thinks you're the real one about this.
I didn't say nothing like that. I say he's the second best quarterback in this draft. Point blank period. Each draft is its own entity. He's the second best quarterback in this year's draft. That's all I say. And I also say he has to be on the right team and the right fit in order to perform at his highest level. That's what I said. He's not a guy who's gonna go there and change the whole entire team. He's not a guy who's gonna go in there and like a Peyton Manning where no matter where he gets drafted, he's gonna change the entire. No, fit matters, system matters. I think he's a good quarterback. Not amazing. He's a good quarterback. He's the second best one in this draft. Like we already talked about, we agree. We don't think that this quarterback draft is that deep. So in this draft, bingo, bingo. In this draft, and he is a good quarterback. He's not amazing. He's not shitty. He's a good quarterback. That's the real answer. You say he's shitty because you want clicks and likes and views. I'm not with all that, homie. I don't sell myself for no money. What, Jason? What's this picture?
That's literally what you do. Let me ask, who's the guy behind? Who's the white boy with the JB hat?
Matt McChesney in the back, I guess, like the one with the beard.
Nah, that ain't no Matt.
And that's Bailey with the hat, and then that's me. That's the ugly version of me pointing at you. That look nothing like me. That's you with the hat, and then you're fighting.
You're like Whitlock.
Who are you fighting?
Kevin Hart, I guess.
You fighting Bucky?
Oh, I thought it was Kevin Hart.
Hey, Kevin the Trucker, do this again. And I want another version of this at the end of the show.
Hey, let me. I raise my hand. I raise my hand.
Jason,
what have I been saying about the quarterback? Period. Overall,
you said it's.
Make sure white, black, and otherwise. Please let everybody know what I've been saying about
quarterback play. You said has tanked.
What have I said about this particular draft?
This
quarterback,
is the worst one you've ever seen in your lifetime.
Okay. All right, so I'm a hater. All right, let's move on. Let's get into our mock draft top 10. Smitty and I did a mock 10 draft. We set up all night doing this together. We got together. We're like, all right, let's break down why this is this, why this is this, who needs this, what happens here. So we took all day, hours and hours and hours for our top 10. So let's dive right into it.
Let me go first so we can end with a bang. The fans want to hear more from you. So let me go first. Let me do my top 10, and then we'll end, with some more sex appeal for you guys, man. So
maybe don't agree with you, but I agree with you kind of. So go ahead.
So I'm gonna start right here at number 10, man. I'm gonna go up to 1. Chicago Bears, man. I think
you should have did your 10 then. You should have had 10 first then. But all right, go ahead.
No, you don't. I'm gonna go with Chicago Bears and go Tyler Warren, man. This guy is a Swiss Army knife at the tight end position. We've seen him go do fullback, wing. He's thrown the ball. He's done everything. And I think the Bears with Ben Johnson and his offensive mind, they want to get another weapon for Caleb Williams. They've already picked up some offensive linemen, some veteran guys from the in the offseason, free agency. So now I think they go with another playmaker to add to that weaponry. And we know Ben Johnson, man, great offensive mind. He'll be able to use him to his liking, Paul. So I like Ty Warren to Chicago. Number 9, though, Saints. I'm going with Mikael Williams, man, Georgia product, man. They the national title winner in 2022. Actually stuck around with the Bulldogs for a while, man. One of the best pass rushers in this draft here. I think the Saints go with a defensive lineman to add him, alongside with their already veteran leader out there in Cam Jordan. As we know, he is getting older though, and you help really beef up that D line, that defense. Number 8, man, this is gonna be the first move and trade of the draft. I'm hearing that my Colts, although they have Danny Dimes and AR5, they are not fully sold on quarterback play just yet, and they're still looking for the quarterback of the future, and they don't think that's AR5. So I got the Colts, and I know it sounds crazy, but I got the Colts trading with the Panthers and actually picking up Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart has been picking up some steam over the last few weeks. Some people have been saying he's QB2 over Shedeur Sanders. And I think the Colts, although some people will say, well, why don't they just wait to get him at, I think, what is the 14? Some people don't believe that Jackson Dart will be around at that point. So I think the Colts will make a big trade and get the quarterback who they think is of their future. Number 7, Jets, they go Will Johnson, man. They go Will Johnson, new head coach, defensive mindset. He wants to go in there, get somebody who can help out with that secondary, help with that defense immediately. And I like Will Johnson in that position. Number 6, I've never been more confident in any pick in this draft in my life, in any draft in my life. Number 6, the Raiders, Ashton Genty. Pete Carroll, I think, based upon his history with Marshawn Lynch and his offense he had with, Seattle, he loves a physical, big running back who breaks tackles, who runs hard, runs inside tackles, outside tackles, all-purpose back. They already have Brock Bowers at tight end. He got his quarterback, Geno Smith. All he needs is a great running back. Ashton Genty is the guy. He will be in Vegas with the Raiders and Bailey's favorite coach of all time, Pete Carroll. Number 5, Duval, the Jaguars, and Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter, am I wrong? Bailey, shake your head up or down if I'm wrong. It's Travis Hunter. He's from Florida, ain't he? Ain't he from Florida? Is he from Florida? Is Travis Hunter from Florida? Is he from Florida? Yeah, he from Florida. He going to Jacksonville, homie. He's going, and they gonna let him play both sides. Another weapon for Lawrence. Sunshine. Yes, sir.
Can you stop saying facts, please? Because you look very bad, and I don't want the show to look bad. Go ahead.
Jaguars, man, they're gonna draft Travis Hunter, man, two-way player. They're gonna let him play both sides to start and see what he can do. He's gonna help out that secondary. He's gonna be another weapon for T. Lawrence out there. And man, we know what type of talent Travis Hunter is. He might be the most talented player in this year's draft. Number 4, Patriots. They're going with Will Campbell, best lineman in this draft, in my opinion. Patriots. They want to run the ball. They want to protect the quarterback of Drake May. We know how my guy gets down at head coach here. This is the type of system that he wants. Will Campbell is going to the Patriots. Number 3, Giants. Hold it up. Everybody get your watches out tonight for number 3 because the New York Giants is going with Shedeur Sanders. Yes, they got Jameis. Yes, they got Russell Wilson. That's to save Dabo's job right now. He's trying to save his job right now while also planning for the future and hopes he'll still be there. Shedeur Sanders is going to New York. It makes perfect sense. He's the perfect fit for the market. He's the perfect fit for this. He can handle the media. He's been underneath pressure and haters like Jason his whole damn life. He's been underneath the limelight. It does not bother him. It takes a special type of quarterback to be in New York. And Shedeur Sanders, second best quarterback in this draft, is going to New York. You heard it here first. Number 2, Browns. Abdul Carter. He's a beast. He's going to be the player that probably has the most immediate impact out of anybody else in this top 10 right here. Put him alongside Myles Garrett, the best defensive end in the game. And watch out, Cleveland. Listen, I don't know how good they're going to be because their quarterback position is kind of weird. But I'll say this. When you play Cleveland Brown, you better put on your hard hat and strap on your boots because they're coming to be physical and they're going to get after your quarterback. But number 1, and this is, I know it's not the sexy answer, but it's the one that's going to be right. We all know this at this point. Ain't no point of arguing. Tennessee Titans are going with Cam Ward, a guy who's had a hell of a career, no matter what school he went to, whether it was Incarnate Ward, the U, wherever he went to, he's balled out and made that team better. So I think he's going to make Tennessee better instantly. These are my top 10 2025 NFL mock draft picks. JB, what say you?
I'm not going to say nothing about it because I know the chat's going to talk shit about either one of our lists. So that's just what it is. I don't really give a fuck. Nobody's ever right on these things. Your list is horrible, but I'm just saying that's everyone's going to say that, right? You're going to say mine's horrible too. Here's the thing. First of all, somebody's taking a big time D tackle in there, and the Graham kid not on your deal makes no sense. That's the only thing.
Stop reading the chat, home. Stop reading the chat.
That's no. I don't even have the chat up. I got my own fucking thing up. I'm okay. Well, I got my own thing up right now, looking at these players. Here's the issue. Here's the issue I got. Like, you got Shedeur over Travis Hunter, but you're not a prime sexual?
It's about need, Tommy.
The Giants definitely don't need a quarterback to save the coach's job. So anyway, well, you'll critique mine. You'll critique mine after. But you all the shit, the glazing you did all year long for Travis Hunter, to have him fall to 5 makes no sense.
About system and need. The Patriots ain't going on New England. I don't even want Travis in New England.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying system and need.
Yeah.
But Travis Hunter plays both ways. He's going to be the first-time guy to start both ways. Blah, 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 blah. But he goes to 5?
Only because of Johnny, the quarterback, Tennessee, the quarterback. He could go to Cleveland. Don't get me wrong, but having Abdul Carter opposite of Myles Garrett is just too that's too explosive of a situation. You gotta go that route. Okay, the Patriots.
I said it first. I like that.
That's not their MO. They don't even like guys like that. The Patriots don't. I would be shocked if he goes to New England. I ain't gonna lie. He might. I just don't see that happen.
I wish we had like a ticker that had 10 first, so it doesn't show everybody our picks. But it is what it is. Let's dive into mine, Bailey. Fuck it. Let's show mine. Here's mine real quick. Cam Ward. We'll start at 1. Obviously, it goes to that because would I pick Cam Ward at 1? No, not I want it. But that's just me. But he's going to be number 1. That's just is what it is. The Titans can't hit at quarterback, and this one will be another miss. Number 2, Travis Hunter. I think he's best player available. You got to take him. I would love to take Abdul Carter alongside of Myles Garrett, like Smitty alluded to. I agree with Smitty on that. I think Abdul Carter is, but at the same time, dog, I don't think you can pass up. If what everyone says about Travis Hunter is true, then you have to take him at 2. Abdul Carter, I think, goes to the Giants. I think they're going to have trade assets with something there. I believe 2 and 3 right here, Smitty, though. I'm going to be honest. If I were the betting man, I would bet that you and I are both wrong at 2 and 3.
Really?
I think something's going to happen. I have a gut feeling that there's going to be some sort of trade, move, or something that happens. Now, not saying that one of these teams can't get one of these players, but I think something's going to happen. That's just my gut feeling. But if you get Abdul Carter, that helps Dable's job because now I got 2 other defensive ends that I could fucking either trade one for something else. And I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants traded one of those, either Burns or Thibodeau. Like, I'm going to be honest. Thibodeau's injury prone. I wouldn't be shocked. So Abdul Carter makes up for that, in my opinion. Number 4, I'm going to take a wild, dark shot and wild horse on this. Tyler Warren. I think the NFL is overvaluing the tight end position. And let me say it the right way. I don't believe it's overvalued. I believe that the tight end now can do so much for your organization that I think you'll overdraft him because of Brock Bowers being this dream grab. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was an unbelievable get, 100-catch guy as a rookie on a bad team. So they're going to get a guy to think that he's the next Gronk. I just think Tyler Warren's going to go. My gut feeling, though, the Patriots take a tackle. Offensive tackle, my gut feeling, but I don't believe there's a really great offensive tackle in this draft. So I would go get Drake May, a safety blanket guy close to the line of scrimmage. That's why I'm saying this with my gut. That's what I would do. But I'm just saying I think the Patriots will grab a tackle. The Jaguars, I think they get Ashton Genty. I think he falls to them right there. Either they use him as a franchise type of guy, moving forward, and they can get rid of one of their backs.
They got ETN.
That's what I'm saying. I think, but he's also kind of ebb and flow with the guy. I don't think you could pass up on Ashton Genty at 5 if you're the Jags, unless you go offensive tackle or D tackle like a Mason Graham. I wouldn't be shocked if Mason Graham bumps up all the way to 5. But 6, I like the Mimbu kid. I think Pete Carroll knows he's going to take something right out of Harbaugh's book. And they're going to go get a tackle. They're going to go get an offensive lineman. And that's just how I feel about the Raiders. But the Raiders can also do something there. The Jets, the Williams kid, Smitty, you alluded to him. I watched him at Georgia enough to see him. I don't know if he's as good as what's my name? My man's name in Houston now. Alabama kid, Will Anderson. I don't know if he's Will Anderson. I don't know if he can do all the things. I don't think he's Abdul Carter. But I think he's probably a top 10 guy because he could be. He could be a guy. Like Thibodeau bumped way up the year him and Jermaine got picked in the first round. Those pass rushers are always going to get on somebody's roster early. And if you're a freak nature athletically, you'll get scooped up early. I think that's where the Jets go because of we don't know about Jermaine. Like I mean, I do, but I'm just saying you're never going to have enough pass rushers there. And then they got one last year, Smitty, that didn't pan out right from the Eagles. And all that shit had happened in New York. Remember, all that shit had happened.
Yeah.
So they got an unbelievable inside group. Now they got to go back and get those guys. So I'm going to go Mason Graham to the Panthers. You had them trading with the Colts. I think the Panthers got to solidify up front, and I think that's where Mason Graham lands. And
you're probably right on that. I know I'm taking a chance with my shit.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do it. I mean, that's what's going to happen. The Saints, here's the issue. They don't know about Carr. I think they're happy with the current situation there, and they got to see somebody we're going to have on the show hopefully soon. Somebody, they saw their quarterback room get better last year, in my opinion. But I think they understand, too, if they lose Derek Carr or he's not. Yeah, Spencer, yeah. But I'm saying if they lose Derek Carr, though, I believe they still have to draft a quarterback, in my opinion. I think Jackson Dart falls to 9 right there. And I could be totally wrong. I'm just taking a shot in the dark. And then Shamar Stewart, Smitty. I don't know if you watched the kid. I like him. I just think he fits the need. I think he fits the need. And the Bears right there at 10, that would be a great move, as Dan Hampton said yesterday on the show, or 2 days ago on the show. They are making good moves with Ben Johnson, right, Smitty? Are they not? Or no?
Yeah.
Am I tripping?
No, they made some good moves. I'm sorry. I noticed something else on your graph that kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm sorry.
What?
I didn't want to distract you. I see in like real small text at the bottom. I'm trying to squint here. My context are not in. It says Shador Sanders second round. Is that what you put on there?
Say what?
I'm trying to see if I'm seeing this correctly. Does that say Shador Sanders second round at the bottom?
Fucking Bailey got me. I didn't even see that. But yeah, says it.
But Jackson Dart, number 9 to the Saints, though.
Yeah.
So Jackson Dart, number 9, count number 1, but Shador falls all the way to the second round.
Yep. I want
to make sure I heard you correctly.
Yeah. Can I ask you something? Are you going to critique?
Steelers got pick number 21, Prime Time's jersey number.
Well, we didn't do 20. We did 10.
I know, but you specifically said Shador Sanders second round. So that means you don't even care about the rest.
I didn't say that, but I'll own it.
No, it's on your chart. It's on your graph.
Yeah,
so
I know.
You did say it now. So
here's the thing, real quick. Are you going to be mad at critique everybody that has Jackson Dart on mainstream media ahead of Shador? Because I want to make sure you tag them all on Twitter.
No, I will not at all. Because I understand. I see some arguments for Jackson Dart.
Okay for them,
but not to the point where what I'm saying is if Jackson goes above Shador, it's going to be like a few picks. It won't be number 9 and Shador second round. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I get it.
I'm not like that, homie. I'm not like that. I don't get all mad or stuff like that. Me and you, we just argue for the show, man. You my best friend on the show.
Real quick, can we talk about something real fast? Because we got
1 minute before breaking and Steve Kim. So real fast.
We got a lot of heat last week, and then Paris cut a very great clip for us, and Bailey took some heat over this subject. Made me drink early in the morning. We had a young female that we showed that a lot of people thought was fat, and me and you kind of had to say, nah, we think that's pretty thick, and we think it's perfect. And then Bailey took a lot of heat for what he did, and you and I were very upset at him. I think you were in the basement of your auntie's house.
Mother-in-law.
Yeah, auntie. And then, so we got something else to show. And we got to get another take so Bailey can redeem his credibility and reputation. Hopefully, yeah, right, correct. This broad would be in my top 10.
Woo. Shit.
Can we dive into this?
Yeah, we can. What's the question?
What do you mean by that? Huh?
I mean, what you meant. What's the question?
Fat or thick?
Is the sky blue? Am I black? Are you white? Is Naptown area code 317? Do I live in Inglewood? Nope, I don't.
She got that little piece right there, too.
Hell yeah, she thick. You talking about, homie?
She got that piece, too, because I know about that piece right there to the left.
Oh, that little, yeah. That little hanging off.
You know what that is?
What?
Pussy fat. It's overlap.
Brazilian wax too, homie, with the tattoo right there on the little head. And then the things right there, they might be surgical, but I don't care about. I mean, they look crazy, like up top.
I don't like specifically when nipples are hard a lot. That's fake titties,
right? I don't listen. I'm not a big surgery guy, but if you get a good surgery to your breast, I don't mind that. I understand why women do that. You could be the most in shape woman in the world, everything natural, but you can't change what your titties. So I understand that. But to answer your question, she is thick. There's not even a conversation. If anybody was to come on this show and call her fat, I don't know what I would do. I really don't know what I'd do. I'll probably lose my mind. This woman is not. She's a Colombian and sister. She's half and half. Tattoo right there by the woo woo. Tattoo on the arm. Brazilian shave. Waist hip ratio. Coke bottle. Not even a conversation, chat. If anybody in the chat says she's fat, you're lame or something's weird. Oh my God, my damn cousin. Keith Smith, definitely too fat, but still kind of attractive. Keith.
Oh, I told you this motherfucker's.
I never. We might.
I told you, homie. Today, you don't listen to your homie. I told you this motherfucker's suspect, homie. He's funny style, homie.
Keith, I'm not rocking with you no more, homie. We not family no more, homie. Like today.
Funny style, homie.
We're not cousins no more, Keith. You fucked up. We had a good 2-year run, but you just fucked up. For you to say
I've been telling you, homie, this cat Keith is funny style.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's from Iowa. Homie, how many brothers you know from Iowa?
Him.
All this cat sees is fucking Taylor Swift all day, and you think this is gonna fucking come on, homie? He's
canceled, homie. You're done.
Keith loves Taylor Swift, homie. He thinks Taylor Swift has ass. He thinks Taylor Swift has fucking just a donkey, homie. Like this motherfucker thinks she is just so bad. He's from Iowa, homie.
It makes a lot of sense, homie.
Nah, but you believe him over me all this time, homie.
Not no more. Like starting now, I don't trust him no more. This is ignorant. This is stupid.
Bailey, would you chime in and give us your take?
Bring Bailey in. This is the drum roll right here. This is the answer I care about.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a drum roll. Smitty, I texted you yesterday. I said this isn't fat. I keep it real on the show. And just like I did before, you didn't agree with my opinion, but again, you asked for my opinion.
So wait, what's the huge difference between this pic and the other picture?
No, it's not fat. No. What I told you yesterday.
I'm confused a little bit, Jason.
I think she's thicker than the other broad, though. Like, she's definitely thicker than the other broad that you said was fat.
I wish we had both pictures side by side almost. I'm trying to see, like, what's the huge difference between the two. I mean, I guess this woman's stomach's a little bit flatter. But
this one is?
Yeah, her stomach's a little bit flatter.
Yeah, but she got compression shirt on, too.
Exactly, she had compression on. Exactly.
Yeah, that's why that little piece of the next to the pussy's coming out.
Right, that's a good sign, though.
But I don't see no camel toe. I don't see the lip separation.
She got her lip, yeah.
So I don't know how good the pussy is.
Nah, it's good. Everybody don't need to.
There's a real thing to that. There's a real thing to that.
Well, not fat. There's my answer.
It's crazy. Like Betty was so adamant on the last picture, being like, "Oh, she's fat." Like, it was no
girl's hips are way thicker, way bigger. This girl's way bigger.
Crazy.
I think she's way thicker than the other broad.
Yeah, I think she's thicker too. I don't get it, homie. I don't get how Bailey thought the other one was fat.
It's interesting on people's perspective. It's interesting on people's. I could probably do this 100 times. We'd get 100 different things from Bailey. Is Lizzo thick or fat?
Well, new Lizzo ain't fat no more. I don't know if you've seen her. She lost a ton of weight. So you gotta stop. You gotta start doing that joke. She looks really good. Like she lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, but she don't look really good. She not look like this. She didn't go from that to this.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying when somebody who was really big lose a lot of weight, you say, "Oh, you look really good. You look healthy."
I actually disagree with you though, because I think
kind of like when you have like an old person on the show and you, "Oh, you look good, man." Like we don't mean to really look good. We saying they look good for who they. But I think Lizzo looks nice. Like she looks way better in my opinion now. Like way healthier.
I disagree with you. Here's why I disagree with, because when you're fat and you do all these things instead of working out, because we know she didn't work out and lose it because she lost it too fast.
I don't know nothing. I'm not gonna ever just assume. I don't know.
We know the truth.
I don't know nothing.
Well, here's real life. What happens is you do that Ozempic or whatever all that shit is. You lose a lot of weight, and what happens is your weight just drops, into a Keith Smith situation. It
But
just
that's
dropped.
not the same thing with Lizzo though. I've seen her
Like-
pictures of her in a bikini. It's not
Yeah,
like that.
Nah, she ain't. Come on, homie.
I'm telling you, you haven't seen her.
She didn't turn into that broad, homie,
I
that
didn't
we
say
just
that
showed.
either. Lord
But
Jesus.
you got a lot of fat slopping around,
don't.
homie. She didn't just lose. She didn't just go out and do fucking.
I don't know what she did. All I'm saying is she
Cholo
don't look
fit.
bad.
She didn't do. She didn't go out and do cholo fit, homie, and get better overnight.
She was behind the scenes quiet for months though. She might have been in the gym. I'm not trying to be like, you rich. All you do is hire a trainer and hire a chef. It ain't that hard to lose weight, homie. It ain't that hard.
It actually is very
It's
hard.
actually not. It's actually hella easy to lose weight.
It's not hella easy.
Bro, I've been big my whole life. Like, how you gonna tell me you've been a skinny dude your whole life until now? Now you're
Never
fat
been.
as fuck.
I've never been
But
skinny
you've
in
been
my life.
skinny your whole life.
Never been skinny. Never.
You've been all right. Let me say this: you've been like just like an average built your whole life. You never been fat until now. You've just been slim, like you've been a normal white dude, normal whatever your whole life. I've been chubby since fucking third grade.
Hey,
I know what it's like to lose weight.
Shamar Stewart is going to be a big time get for somebody in the first round. Just throwing that out there.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly. She did work out.
Kelly, were you there?
Were you there, Jason? If that's the case,
shit. So all of a sudden, she did work out. Like her fucking posts on social media are telling you the story. She was 340 2 months ago. Now she's 180, and she worked out.
We ain't seen Lizzo in a long time. I think she worked out. You look at her body, the way she's like slowly lost and went down. I think she works out.
The defense for some of you motherfuckers is unbelievable, homie. It's unbelievable. Like, instead of just being honest and real, motherfuckers really defend motherfuckers. They have no clue who they are either. Like,
And
they don't give a
you go in and make these comments and you act like it's so matter of fact as if you do know.
Smitty, by the way, Shador don't fucking give a shit about what you think.
That's fine. I'm giving my opinion. I don't care what Shador thinks when it comes about me.
Even Dion or any other prime sexuals. So why not just have your own opinion, homie?
It is my own opinion. Why is it that if we go opposite of you, it's not having our own opinion?
No.
To me, you always lean negative. To me, that's
I'm
not
the
your
hater.
own
What do you mean? You just made my point. Because I'm the hater, remember? That's why.
Because you called him shitty. You didn't
But
say
you're
he wasn't
not.
the best. You said
But
shitty.
you're not the hater.
You didn't give me a full quarterback. You'll break down and like you.
You
said
know
he
what
was
you are?
shitty.
You know what
That's
you
a
are?
Casual take, honestly. I'm be honest.
You know what you are? You're the biggest Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold hater I've ever met in my life.
Because I watch. Yeah, you call that, but I also watched the tape.
Yep. You're the biggest,
I watched the tape. Daniel Jones has been nothing.
Biggest Sam Darnold.
Daniel Jones had one solid year in which he threw for like 15 touchdowns.
Yep.
That's a fact. So I watched the tape and watched the results.
No, I get it.
That's what I watched. Sam Darnold shocked me this season, and I gave him his prop, and I said I was wrong. I admit that I was wrong on national TV on this show.
Well, let's see.
Let's see. Outside this 1 year, he's been horrible. That's a fact, homie.
Oh,
Lizzo look good, homie.
That looks good.
Lost a lot of weight. Lost a lot.
You gotta stop just saying shit just because she's a sister, homie. I get it.
Weight.
You gotta start being real though,
Shout out
homie.
to Lizzo, homie.
That's not good.
Shout out to Lizzo, homie. Lost
That doesn't
a lot
look
of
good
weight.
though.
Smitty, you gave me all this shit.
And that's not even the most recent picture. So you the picture I'm about to send you right now.
You give me
Bailey,
all that shit.
I don't trust nothing Bailey does when it
this
comes to the show.
weekend.
Bailey's gonna always do stuff that's gonna piss JB off. That's
You brought this up. You brought this up.
I'm putting all the facts out. I'm putting all the beans. Bailey does stuff that he knows gonna get JB riled up. That's a good producer. You're supposed to do that. That's not the most recent picture. I just put the most recent picture in the fucking chat. Pull that up right now. We're not going to break. Pull this picture up. So side by side, showing her loss. And this is what I'm talking about right now. That picture you showed was not the most recent, homie.
Smitty, are you serious?
Pull this up, homie. I'm very serious. I give credit where credit's due. Neither one of y'all don't like Lizzo because y'all think she's far left and all that stuff. So no matter what she does, y'all gonna hate. I know you MO, baby. I know you MO, JB. If somebody is on the
I don't even know her politics
politically or whatever, y'all just gonna hate.
That don't matter, Smitty.
Thank you. Come on now. It's night and day, homie. Looks way better. Looks way better. You can give props to this JB as a former athlete in Bailey. As a former athlete, Bailey, you can't respect this, homie.
I don't agree with Smitty at all.
Man, you fucking crazy. Don't you train people, but fucking Bailey? This is the result you want.
I don't.
You don't train people, homie? So what you do when you go train? What you do?
That doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and defend.
They lose 15 pounds and you say you still look fucking
defend
shitty?
it.
They lose 50 pounds and you say you still look fucking shitty?
It's a fact how she lost it. I don't know her politics, so I'm going to disagree with you. I don't even know who the fuck she is. But here, the bottom line is on the right, you can see the cottage cheese legs and shit. This is basically what happens when you falsely lose weight. Let's keep it real. You know the real Smitty.
It's not a fact.
She ain't got no solidness to her. Like, she ain't working. That's a dramatic loss based on her skin. I know that much. I got fucking masters of kinesiology. I know that shit. She's a dramatic loss, homie. Look at her titties and her stomach and her legs. That's a dramatic weight loss, homie. So don't tell me she's out here grinding and doing fucking.
Don't use your masters in kinesiology as a flex right now. When you was on your own show last chance you, and you told me, you said, I can't tell you what a fucking atom is, what a microbe is.
Is she doing the thigh master?
I'm doing that. That looks.
She doing the thigh
Hey,
master.
lay, made, shade.
Thigh
I'm doing that, home. I don't want to see that shit on my screen.
Wow.
Anyway, let's take a break. Steve Kim will be here in about 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
Unbelievable.
Pac-Man said, listen, if everybody's got some kind of source, but who the fuck knows who they are?
I was just about to ask you that. Just about to ask you that.
The coffee grinder. You know, hey, this is what I'm hearing I got a glass up to the window. I don't know. Everybody's got a source, and some of them are legit. But I would be absolutely shocked if that happens. I really would. Again, I think most coaches would feel the same way. Give me that piece of clay in Trevor Lawrence and let me mold him into what I think he can be. And I think that's the idea, and I'm very hopeful that it'll work out.
And since you brought it up, man, we might as well go and show it for the fans, Bailey. Let's check out and listen to what Pac-Man said.
Good sources is right down in Duval. They're trying to find some kind of way to get Trevor Lawrence up out of here.
Really?
Those are real liable sources, people. Not no cap shit either. I know he was the first overall pick and all that, but my sources says they like the Sanders boy.
They want to move Trevor Lawrence and they want to bring in Shedeur Sanders.
My sources says they are trying to find anybody that will take it.
Wow.
Bullshit.
Listen, when you smoke weed, it makes you
lying.
I don't know. You know, he might have heard something. He's like, oh, hey, let's roll with it. I'm high. Who cares? Pac-Man, I love Pac-Man's great. Listen, who knows? Maybe somebody is floating that around there. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. You know, there's a lot of rumors and a lot of fluff and a lot of scuttlebutt right now. Like, you know, we go from we're all in on Mason Graham. Now all of a sudden it's Ashton Gentry. Now, no, wait, it's not him. It's Ted McMillan. Wait, it's going to be some. You know what I mean? You don't know what's going to happen. I will say this: I don't think Trevor goes anywhere, and he sure isn't going to be traded for Shedeur Sanders. No disrespect to the young Sanders gentleman at all.
Don't say nothing about that.
I'm looking forward to it. But you're not trading Trevor Lawrence for him.
Don't say shit about the Sanders, Tom. You'll get fucking.
I love Deion, man. I love what he does. I'm all about Deion. He's one of my favorite. I love watching all that. But the reality is, and I'm not saying this kid's not good. I'm just saying he ain't better than Trevor Lawrence. And I'm taking Trevor Lawrence's tools, and I'm going to put them together and make it work for this team. And I think that's the direction. Now, at number 5, I think it's exciting as hell, man. I mean, because you know how it falls, I think people are going to be calling up. I do, man. Somebody's going to want Genty. Someone might panic for one of the tackles. You know how that goes. Oh, Campbell's off the board. We better jump. You know, we only got, 3? I think Josh Simmons, by the way, could be the best one out of the batch. And to be honest with you, I would love for someone in the 20s, or late teens, to offer us a haul to move out of 5 and drop back and grab a Josh Simmons. I think that would be an absolute humongous home run. And you get the second rounder, and you might get next year's first rounder too, if they're far back enough. You know what I mean? That could be something. But you gotta wonder who that player is. Who wants that specific player at number 5?
Are we in the era though? Like you got to win fucking now, or these guys are on the chopping block. We know the coaches are, but in the players' world, like these cats are demanding trades now. similar to the transfer portal in college. Are these guys getting fed up after 2 years of not winning and then saying, hey, I want to get the fuck out of Jacksonville now? Are we in a demand now to win now instead of worried about a pick round 1 next year or round 2 next year? Do you see that being a trend now in the league?
First of all, the players that would ask for a trade, they should get their ass out of here, because to me it was all their fault more than the coaches. I know everyone wants to point the finger at the coaches. You want to say it's this, you want to say it's that. At the end of the day, you're the player. You either make the play or you don't make the fucking play. You either remember your assignment or you don't remember your assignment. You either know the game plan or you don't spend enough time studying it. It's a damn job. It's one of the best jobs you'll ever have in the entire free world.
Yo, we back. Hour number 2. And it's time, man, for our weekly special guest, our guy, the Korean Cosell, the one and only Steve Kim is in the building, y'all. What's going on, Steve? How you doing?
Morning,
Steve. What's going on this weekend? Shitty weather, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to play poker Saturday, Steve. I don't know if there's any fights. I'm gonna barbecue. I might smoke. I haven't smoked. So we haven't had a football palooza in so long that I miss smoking food. I've been on the boat so often. I'm like, damn, it's gonna be like 57 out here.
And all you do is use that flat grill now.
Yeah, well, that's like instant cooking. Yeah. But I'm talking about smoking something for Steve, like some like spare ribs, fry Y.
I gotta go to some club fight in Saturday, so I'm just staying home. I gotta do some stuff Sunday. Gotta go visit some people. So, and then the next week I'll be in Las Vegas for the Inoue fight. So,
I might have to come out there finally, meet you. Not finally, we've been there before, but I might have to show up. Steve, let's dive into this thing. Poll question right out the gate. I asked Smitty, will Shedeur Sanders get scooped up tonight in the top 10? I said no. Smitty, of course, said yes. He's a prime sexual. What do you think?
I think the question is, does he go before 20? I don't. The consensus is he's not going to the Saints at 9. So if he doesn't go to the Saints at 9, this could become Aaron Rodgers. I remember that draft. There was a point in the top 10. As soon as Aaron Rodgers was left in that green room, and people said it, goes, there's not a team that needs a quarterback for a very long time. And unless there's a team that is willing to trade up, him to the Steelers in the early 20s looks like a spot. But the consensus is from the insiders, he's not going top 10.
I want to know, can you show our list, Bailey, to Steve real quick? There's my list, Steve. This is just a shot in the dark. I'm gonna do a draft party tonight. If you're not doing shit, hop on. But where you at with this list right here? Smitty has Travis Hunter at 5. I just don't think, no way in the world he falls that far. But we've seen stranger things before that's happened. I think Cam's the consensus 1. After that, I mean, shit. I got Tyler Warren actually as my dark horse. I think he'll get overdrafted because of we're enamored now by the float tight end, Brock Bowers of the world. And I think a team is trying to get another Brock Bowers now. So I think the Patriots in my gut takes a tackle, Steve, but I wouldn't be shocked if they took a Tyler Warren here, generational talent, to get with Drake May. And then I think Ashton falls right there at 5 to the Jags. I think the Jags, I don't think they can pass them up. But that's just me. I think a D tackle has to be taken, and I think pass rushers, Mikael Williams, obviously the Shamar Stewart kid. So where you at?
Well, Shamar Stewart, he's a workout warrior. He does a lot of things. You know what he doesn't do? Sack the quarterback.
Yeah.
You look at the tape. I've known about him since his junior year in high school. He's a South Florida guy, very highly recruited, went to A&M. A lot of measurables, very athletic. I don't know. Where's that one game where you say, God, look at him dominate?
Right.
There's not a single game that an Aggie fan could say, man, he dominated. There isn't. There's not a single game you could say, man, that guy was like a young Sam Adams. He was like a Quentin Coriat. He was like one of those great wrecking crew guys. There's not a single game where you say, man, he really won it. There's not a single game he was a Walter Nolan, I don't think. I really don't.
We've seen this before, though, where you take guys off of projecting what they will be body type-wise. I think he's like 291. I know he's a rip freak. We've seen guys that haven't done what we thought they should do.
I'll just say this again. I would rather take Walter Nolan at any point in the draft, and I know he's a tackle, given the dearth of big men at his size that could play inside. Walter Nolan, without the injuries, probably a top 5 pick. He was the number 1 player in high school 3 years ago. I thought he had a really good year at Ole Miss. Shamar Stewart is a boom or bust player. Now, Jackson Dart's interesting. He comes from a system that you want to talk about NFL preparedness. I don't know if that system prepares you for the next level. I think none of them do now. For him.
Yeah, I don't believe any of them set him up anymore. It's all about now. What have you done for me lately in college to keep the coach their job? I don't think they set up these kids at all. That's why I think they're failing miserably. But I don't know. That's just my take. But
if I'm the Patriots, and I don't think Will Campbell is a franchise left tackle at that spot.
Yeah. See, I don't. That's what I don't.
Ohio State guys and the Mizzou guy have better athletic profiles, and they've been really good. I might trade down to stay in the top 10 and let someone else have that pick. That's what I would do, because if Will Campbell is not your Orlando Pace level guy that you know day one, you're my bedrock outside.
Yeah.
Some of these other guys, and if I can get a second or a third round pick, but I still stay in the top 10, because you're right. Warren's very good, but unless you base your whole offense around scheming around him, I don't know. I mean, again, there are people that like Colston Loveland out of Michigan better.
Yeah, I've been seeing that.
We'll see.
Smitty has, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I don't know. It's going to be, we know, I think 2 and 3 are going to have there's going to be some trades early, and I think 2 and 3 is where they happen, Steve. I also can see the Jags making a move too somewhere. I think those top 6, 7, 8 guys have some possibilities in trades, or moving up, moving down, and getting more out of their buck. I think there's just too many needs for a lot of these teams drafting that early, and I don't know if you could pass on. You and I agree with Gronk. I think he's the best tight end I've ever seen. Having said that, I don't know if Tyler Warren's Gronk, but what I'm saying,
I don't think there's a lot of Gronks. I mean, Gronk was
floating around.
6'6".
Yeah.
65. He could run a 4.6.
No doubt.
Amazing hands.
Yeah, there's no Gronk.
Bounced off people like 88 Jackson Tecmo Bowl, had great ball skills.
Yeah, there's no Gronks, but I'm saying, like, did the Patriots pass up on a guy that can help their young Q? And I don't know if Tyler Warren's that guy, in my opinion, right now. I don't know if he's Brock Bowers either, but I know he can do a lot though. So I don't know. We'll see. So, Steve, real quick, Smitty's going to dive into this Arkansas thing with you.
Yeah, let's do it, man. So, Arkansas's NIL collective is demanding roughly $200,000 back from transfer quarterback Madden Iamaleava. This comes as after news broke that Madden was leaving Arkansas and heading over back to UCLA. Man, the enforcement of these agreements is vital in our new world of college athletics. Is what coming from them. So, Steve, man, what is your reaction to this?
I just want to ask you right out the gate, why now? Why? We've been saying this for fucking 5 years. Like, why all of a sudden?
Here's the issue, guys. We can't be upset when colleges stiff players, because that has happened. But this has to work both ways. The fact that he did not play a single real snap and he just leaves. But again, these universities and these collectives, really, they gotta put in some fine print.
Yep.
And if they don't want to give back that money, the University of Arkansas needs to do what's right for all of college football and litigate this to high heaven, all the way to the Supreme Court if you have to. And if they don't return that money, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. Coach, you may want to get out of the screen because you're going to catch them. That's a low character move by that family. If you don't have the character to say, you know what, we didn't live up to our deal, good luck to you. That's a low character family. I'd never want to get into business with them.
Hey, and I tell Nick him that himself. He knows that. Like, I think he'll do the right thing. I would hope. Here's the issue. We don't know how much money did he get. I want to know that. and let me ask you this, Steve.
Okay.
Let me ask you
Let's
this.
put that.
Well, the Nick I know, as far as here's the question I have though, because any of us know the contract or the situation.
Yeah.
I want to know, like Smitty said the other day, is there bonus monies being signed that this is what it is? What if they said here's $200,000 just to sign with us, and we don't know? Because I'm hearing there's things out there like that right now.
Yeah,
So
I mean, look, they need to start tightening up these agreements. Here's the issue that I have with that family.
And let me ask you this, Steve, before you keep going. Are these public record?
Not that I know of, but
Until
if
they
I'm
are.
Arkansas and I'm in the right, I'd start posting it online saying, guys, this is it. You got to get dirty. I don't think ethics and morals go right out the window with a lot of people. So get dirty. Get dirty.
Yeah.
Try to smear this family till you get your money back. Then it's clean. Here's the thing that I have a problem with that family. It's been reported by a lot of credible people. All Nico had to do was just show up to this car dealership for about an hour, 50,000. You know what they came back with? No, we need 65. Really, 65. You don't want just 50, just to shake a few hands.
Wait, say it again. Babies. Say it again. I didn't say it again.
There's been reports that anytime Nico was asked to do something on behalf of the collective to earn that NIL, he would either do two things: say no, ask for more money, or call his dad to have his dad chew out Tennessee. So, okay, I guess they're going to do the right thing. Based on that, I don't have a lot of faith, Coach. I'll be honest with you. The bottom line is simple in life. When if I shake my hand with you, that's the deal. I don't need 50 pages of contracts.
Oh, I'm with you.
We're going to look each other in the eyes. Is that the deal? That's it.
I'm with you, but
I grew up.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's how we are, integrity-wise, character-wise. Here's the issue I have, though. These kids now are being taught
by who?
To go the opposite way, though. These
By
kids
who?
are money. Like the money's telling these kids at 17. This is why I told Smitty today, and we shared a text. And
but Coach, all the father had to do is, Nico, come here. Yeah, show your ass up. Bye.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I don't know why we're complicating this. There's a story out there by people that really researched this. When they were offered $50,000 for an appearance, they said, well, 65. And the guy said, forget it, nothing. $50,000 is a slightly more than the American average salary per year. That's all. I'm just going to leave it at that. You couldn't even throw me 20 touchdowns in a Josh Heupel offense.
Here's the thing. Here's the issue.
Chappelle being one of those rappers. Okay.
Here's the issue I have, though. I got to be real. We shared a talk, and I talked to some NFL guys. Tonight's the draft. And I told Smitty and I started the show off debating this. I don't believe there's kids out here right now who get paid at 17 to 21 who are very, very interested in being an NFL player like we once were. I'm just being honest. I've been saying it for 3 years, Steve, and I think we've been talking about this. Smitty and I have also said the investment's not the same, especially we see NBA, NFL players getting absolute crazy money. And I'm like, hey, I've been jokingly saying it. They're in Dubai all off season, and that's why the bodies don't look the same. And this is why the injuries come higher. And we've been talking about this weed and Taco Bell for 3 years. So I'm just saying this is true though. And at some point we got to start saying, all right, man, the father, the mother, the parents, but the kids got to say at one point, do I love football or not? Like if this kid loved football, then you would have made a commitment to Arkansas and fucking stuck it out for at least a year, or not even made it. Because Madden originally committed to UCLA, right?
Look, it may have not been his choice.
I get it. That's what my point.
The reality is this: we are now going to get more and more players who get drafted, and day one they've already slept in silk pajamas. To take a term from Marvin Hagler, it's hard to do road work at 6 o'clock in the morning, waking up in silk pajamas, and that is the truth. And Herman Edwards, when he was at the combine, when he was still coaching, one of the first questions he would ask any player when they got some meeting time, son, you love football? And if he didn't like the answer, as soon as that door closed and that kid left, he'd be like, guys, he's not our type of guy. So you better really vet these guys. You better really understand, is he playing football at least to a certain degree, with the proper level of motivation and professionalism.
Steve, let me ask you this, though. I asked this to JB earlier. Is the only motivation for these people to play football is the money? Because when I played football, I had dreams of, being rich and making the NFL, but I loved football.
Like, you didn't have the money. You didn't have the money in your face, though, at 17 to 21 like these cats
Well,
do.
now here's the difference, though. But, Smitty, you're right about that, because there's a thing called professionalism, and that means doing the right thing all the time when nobody's looking.
Right.
When you don't have to. All right, but you do it. And I'll say this about some of the greatest fighters that I've ever known. They made tens of millions upon hundreds of millions, but, man, they were into it. As soon as they signed for a fight, I remember watching Manny Pacquiao work out numerous times.
Yeah.
And this is after the De La Hoya fight, when he's an international superstar. I have never seen an athlete, from the minute he puts on his hand wraps, it took him a while to get there. He would never be on time. But the minute he began working out, his intensity level for 2.5 hours is nothing that can be matched by any boxer I've seen for that level.
Wow.
Floyd Mayweather, people say what they want. That guy thought about being the best in the world, and his ego drove him in a positive fashion 365 days a year. Yeah. Bernard Hopkins, and I say this with the greatest respect, was the most paranoid individual I have ever seen. He felt they were after him. The system was against him. The man didn't like him. And he used that. He won more fights in training camp and through lifestyle than any fighter I've ever seen. And you know why? Because he never had a drop of alcohol. He never ate anything he should. I mean, he really said, I beat guys in the offseason. So it's not, you can have a lot of, like Michael Jordan, by his second contract, had to be the most famous athlete in America.
Yep.
But throughout the 90s, from 91 on, nobody outworked him.
Yep.
I mean, so I think there's a lot
my
of people.
point. It can't just be money. For some guys, it probably is, and those guys won't be great at the next level. But I have to believe there's still a decent amount of kids who love football beyond just money.
Let me ask you.
They still want to do it, but I think it is different. Maybe the desperation to get to that second contract may not be there anymore.
Paris, cut this whole area with Steve if you could for later on. We can share it with Steve. Let me ask you something. Let me tell you guys something. I used to ask my players every day, Smitty, raise your hand if you love football. And every single player raises their hand, right? That's the cliche.
Right.
You know what it was, though, when I went around in the room and I said, Smitty, no, you don't, you fucking liar. You didn't go to history class this morning. You didn't go to math class this morning. You weren't at study hall. You weren't in the weight room. Nowadays, you can't say any of that shit. So now how do you know if you love football? Because if I took away the field from you for missing class, then I would know real quick if you love football or not. Or if I took the field away from you for missing some obligation, right? Or some demand. Nowadays, dog, these cats are online classes. They're getting paid astronomical amounts of money at 17 to 21. The fucking one kid at Colorado hasn't thrown a pass yet. He's got a fucking Lamborghini. Like, come on, dog. Like, you telling me that you think, and I know his mother well, you think this is going to make these cats hungry?
Well,
I don't.
Coach, it's that old line from Herman Edwards, and I'm sure other people have used it. Son, do you love football or what it can bring you? Because there is a difference.
And the aspiration used to be what it brought us in the NFL. Making it to the NFL, we were one of one. Nowadays, these cats aren't one of one. They don't care about being one of one already. They got paid one of one money in a college. I just don't get it. I don't see it, Smitty. That's just my personal take. I hope there is people like Smitty saying that are hungry for it, but I would say the percentage is much lower than it has.
It's lower. I think human nature will
human
dictate.
nature. That's all. I'm not mad at it. Human nature. It's
No,
all.
I agree that it's lower. I just don't know if it's as low or as bad as what JB says. Maybe he's right. I don't know either. I don't know a lot of these kids now. I'm at the point now where a lot of these guys, I don't have the direct connection.
Let me ask you something. What's a telltale sign, Smitty, that you and I love the game? All these legendary guests that we get on here every day. What's the number one thing they said? Oh, shit, man. I went out with a broken finger. My finger was going this way, and I fuck that. I'm going back out there.
Yeah.
Why are we seeing more and more kids say, oh, fuck that. I got to hang now. I'm sitting out. I'm out 2 weeks. I'm not going to go out there and put my life on the risk. CTE, helmet, condoms. I don't want to risk the what? The money or my life, right? The future of my life. We didn't care back then. We loved the game. We were going to go play it until we couldn't play it. Nowadays, you're seeing all the soft tissue injuries that a lot of cats can play through. I'm going to be honest. We all had fucking shoulders. And how many fucking shoulders did you play with, Smitty? And when I say
right to this day,
when I say shoulder, you know what I mean in football terms. Yeah. We have headaches. And come on, man. You seen that? What they say? What's his name? We had on Doug Plank. They said they had to walk him down the fucking white line to get him off the field. And then they ran back out. Come on, man. You think these kids are doing that? That's a 0% chance that they're doing that. Plus, we've softened the game for them with the doctor on the sideline. And I'm not just blaming them only. The rules have also allowed it. So, I don't know. That's just where I'm at with it. Steve, real quick, I got to ask you. An anonymous GM, NFL GM, said that they will not pick up the phone if Howie Roseman calls him on draft day. He said, we're blocking all calls from the 215 area code in our facility. Obviously, probably being facetious or joking, but at the same time, Howie's proven to be someone to wreck with on this day in the first, second round, and he's getting some gems. Cooper DeJean, obviously, guys that he stole from other folks. Do you think any validity to this?
There may be some paranoia, but that is the ultimate compliment to Howie. I guess it's like when Minnesota Fats comes up to you and says, hey, you want to play a couple of games of pool? And you're like, nah, I'm good. I think I want to keep my money here. But really, so what if he said, hey, we're not happy with Jalen Carter, thinking about moving him? You wouldn't pick up the phone? If he's offering Jalen Carter? I mean, really? I don't. So, look, the one thing that Roseman does, and I give him a lot of credit, he was not afraid to make some moves this offseason. Some very productive veterans were let go, but he still keeps his core. And I'm looking at some of these mocks. They're going to get someone good. I mean, I saw one mock draft that had Walter Nolan going to the Eagles, and I'm like, geez, they just load up on those big bodies inside defensively. Like, he has a certain philosophy. But again, if you're a GM that is secure in your knowledge and your ability to build a team, I'd talk with anybody. Now, if an NFC East team, I'd be like, that's a little different, those interdivision trades. But anyone else, I don't know. It depends. Who are you offering? Yeah. What are you offering? And when?
Yeah, no doubt. If you're not picking up the phone, you'll never know, right? Fucking, that's why it's a troll deal, I think, in my opinion. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. It's interesting. It's going to be some interesting shit tonight, as we always have. I just truly think of it. Steve, real quick, give me your take on Steve McMichael, man. We had Dan Hampton on, and I didn't ask him about him because I know they're really close friends. I talked to Jarrett Payton, who was there, who I'm good friends with, Walter's son, and it's unbelievable. Went from pro football to wrestling. I don't believe he had a year when he didn't have at least 7 sacks. That's pretty hard to do from inside. What do you remember most about this man?
Oh, just a savage, just a man's man, Mongo. And his body probably paid the price for his professions, before and after football. But just a rough, tough guy. And I really look at him as an era. There were some tough-ass savages back then. I mean, that was a man's game back then in the 80s and early 90s when he played. Him and Hampton inside with Dent, Otis Wilson, Wilbur Marshall, Fensick, Dewerson, and Singletary. I think the 85 Bears, one of the 2 or 3 best defenses I've ever seen. But McMichael was a rough guy. He was a man's man, but he was fun. Like, people generally liked him. He was a really big personality in Chicago. I remember once they showed the clip of it. He was at a Cubs game, and he was selected to do the 7th inning stretch where they sing it. And that really bad umpire, Angel Hernandez, blew a call, so he grabs the mic, and he goes, all right, before we do the 7th inning stretch, he basically said, man, this umpire stinks. He's blind. And the umpire's looking up at the box. He's all pissed off, and I'm like, hey, buddy, I wouldn't mess with Mongo. You just take that. So, rest in peace. And he had been in bad shape. His body had withered away. And I think at a certain point that when you pass away, you're actually better off. You can now be at peace, your friends and your loved ones. And your body leaves you, but, your spirit may live forever.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
I agree. Dan Hampton was like, listen, man, I know I'm in the Hall of Fame, and he mentioned it the other day. He was like, I ain't shit. He goes, to my right, I had this guy. To my left, I had this guy. Behind me, I had this guy. And then he mentions Doug Plank being the craziest one of all of them.
Yeah.
and he was sharp as a tack on the show the other day. And I was like, shit, everyone has a Doug Plank story, which is crazy.
It's wild,
yeah. It's unbelievable, but it's funny. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, man.
Let's dive into a Colorado deal, Smitty. I know you got this Travis Hunter take that you got going 5th.
Man, listen, Colorado, man, Travis Hunter says he does not party. He does not like going out, and he's just focused on playing football. So I don't like the party, don't like going out. I barely like talking to people sometimes. Hunter spends hundreds of hours watching film, is what he says.
Good for him.
This is a serious guy, Steve Kim. This is why he will succeed at the next level, playing both sides.
No, stop.
That'll remain to be seen, but boy, going number 5 seems a bit low. I don't think he gets out of the top 3.
Yeah,
I really don't. Because if you're a team in the top 3, and you know Cam's going number 1, so the other 2 teams, if you're not taking Travis Hunter internally, I'm thinking to myself, all right, there's got to be someone that's willing to trade up to get him.
Right.
Seriously. So I would parlay it. I just wouldn't take another player and not allow myself to say, okay, I'm putting this pick up for auction. If there's a Travis Hunter team out there, make me an offer. Make me an offer.
Smitty,
I cannot imagine him getting out of the top 3.
Did he dump the girlfriend that was causing all the drama?
Haven't heard anything.
I'm sure she'll be all over that draft coverage if she isn't. I mean, geez.
I haven't heard anything about her. So either he dumped her
Good.
or he had a serious conversation with her. He said, don't stop talking.
Good. I have more respect for him. I love the kid. The wide receiver for Arizona who says I don't watch film is what's glaring. And then you got a kid like
T-Mac.
You got a kid like Travis who's saying I'm watching hundreds of hours. Man, I'm just telling you.
That's
like
all Travis Zeus play football and fish. Like he played the
By
game.
the way, Travis,
video game.
Some advice for you.
Onesie.
On behalf of all men. 2 words. Prenup. That's it. Prenup.
He better already have it, Steve, because that's shit. She's already gotten money. I mean, he already has money from NIL deals and shit. So I don't know.
Well, they're not married right now, though.
No. They're engaged.
I believe so. Yeah.
What?
This is fiance, I think.
Are they gonna walk down the aisle in onesies?
Whatever they want to do for their wedding. Shout out to Travis Hunter, who's about to get drafted, and all his dreams gonna come true tonight. His dad got I guess some sort of legal pass, whatever, to actually come to the draft. I saw that yesterday, so his dad will be there, and Travis Hunter's life's gonna change tonight. I always get emotional on day 1 of the draft personally, because I'm just watching these kids like their life change right in front of you. There's no other profession where like the world sees you get your job, your dream job right there. Like imagine like just being an accountant or something, and the whole world just Steve Kim with the first rounds, our next account. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a realistic thing.
Hey, the prime sexuals are unbelievable. My former player in the chat here, Latrell.
Yeah.
Travis and Liana are still engaged. Like this motherfucker knows everything. He knows their social address. Like you fucking prime sexuals. Latrell.
He asked the question, though. He answered the question.
Why do you even know her name, homie? Fuck. Who gives a fuck? God
wow,
damn.
that's a pretty good point. That's a pretty good point.
They're so invested in this prime sexuality.
Stop saying that. That phrase is so stupid.
Hey, by the way, guys, did you see that second audio
Liana.
Shannon Sharp and
that
Glacier Glider girl that
Snow Bunnies will get you caught up, man. I try to tell
guys.
Smitty, man.
I actually still a little bit wary because Tony Buzzy Busby is involved. But that conversation that had where the girl, hey, are you still coming over to LA? Shannon, I don't want to be choked out. I'm like, all right, hold on. Is she the word that rhymes with decarded? I get it. She hit the squat rack. Credit to her. But
the voice threw me off too.
IQ is in the single. Hey guys.
Oh yeah.
That's not a good look.
That's not smart, Shannon. I mean, was she just fucking doped up beyond recognition?
I mean, was she up on that lean?
Can we play? We got audio, Bailey. Do we got audio video, Bailey?
And I'm like, wait a minute.
We got
Shannon,
audio
I know
of
you don't like her for her personality, but this is like talking to a pet rock. 80s reference.
Hey, Steve said, was she on that lean? I did not expect.
Oh, she was leaning all right. She was like Fat Joe. She was leaning all the way back.
Lean back.
I mean, I'm listening. I was like, Shannon, there are girls that are a little bit older, and they don't sound like that. Wow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The voice sounded crazy. It sounded like it was weird. It was low. It was.
I don't want you to go Wayne Brady on me. You don't have to choke a bitch out. I was like, what? Oh my God.
Homie, that's
she said,
I'm just making an observation.
Like being choked.
I don't want to be manipulated here. I'm like, okay, what are you getting? Are you on roofies?
He said $25K for each cheese.
Hey, Steve, before we get a video, we got a video that we're going to share. Let me ask you something. What's your real take on this whole thing? You see money grab, you see an idiot.
Oh, no, I'm sure that's a part of it. That is a part of it. I'm still a little bit suspicious of it, but it doesn't look great for Shannon optically that he did offer 10.
I know.
I was like, oh boy.
Well, I think we do have the actual audio conversation here. I think it's 2 of them here. So, Bailey, thanks for getting it ready.
Yeah.
Well, what, Gabby?
Are you coming to LA tomorrow?
Yeah, why? Why you want to know?
I don't want to be choked, so...
I might choke you in public and then eat my food while you choke it. I sure might.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Well, that wasn't a good look with that punk ass shit you did to me. You don't get me horny and then say stop.
No means no.
Shit.
I wanted to be abused, but I didn't want you to put it in my ass.
I want some booty.
All right, hold on. That was not the actual video, just for our audience. But that was not a bad impersonation.
Hey, Steve, you know our friend of the show, that's Savvy, man. He comes on our show and does impersonation.
Savvy, good job on that. But again, it did capture the essence of that conversation. It did.
Hey, shout out to Savvy, man. He's
doing. It's not AI. It's our guy Savvy. It's not no AI.
That's not AI. That's Savvy, who's on our show all the time.
I mean, but there's some YouTubers that I respect that were really on Shannon's side on Tuesday. By the time that came out, they done flip-flop like a flapjack at IHOP.
Damn, flip.
And I was like, wow.
Like an IHOP. It's like a bar. You just
And I know Marcellus came out and broke down because he had the same situation. He's breaking down from both sides. And I've been falsely accused for other things, not anything with this. But like, I get all the sides, but like at some point, my name is all I have, Steve, on this earth. And when I leave this earth, I'm not paying or admitting to shit if I'm innocent. I'm just not. Sorry. I can't. So $10 million?
Again, this is why we have a legal system. This is why everybody should have their day in court. And I don't know if it's a trial, but again, let's let this thing play out because Tony Busby, his track record is, as they say,
another
problematic.
Guy,
So it's just,
no doubt. He's always reaching for that. That's what he does. Like, I'm be surprised that motherfucker.
He knows what that's what he do.
I know. I know. Listen, but Shannon's on record just talking about Deshaun Watson just 2 years ago saying, hell no, don't admit nothing to now what?
That is true.
Hold on, Shannon. Shannon looks bad in a lot of fronts, and I it's unfortunate that
Monique was trying to tell him, get yourself a real woman that could cook and rub your toes at night.
Yeah.
And Shannon was not having it, and Cat Williams tried to tell him,
I'm with Monique. Ain't nothing like having this is a real woman at home who really care about you, rub your feet, fix your plate, Steve.
Hey, Steve, I've heard that the 10 million is not even the number. I heard it's even more than that.
Well, we don't know what's true, what's false right now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Things go out.
And I get the sense, according to what Whitlock is saying, and Jason's pretty connected here, this may just be the tip of the iceberg.
Well, they say the video will come out, which I do not want to see. I actually hope it don't come out. But
she's not even that bad. Like, that's why I don't want to see it. We know why we don't want to see it. We're not going to watch it. But I'm going to be honest, though. She's not like, oh, shit, I need to see her. Like, I could give 2 squirts of piss about what this girl looks like. She looked like a little girl. By the way, Steve, the issue I have.
You want to squat right like Steve said. That's the only reason.
And I started the show yesterday with this. The age is my whole issue. You can say it's legal and all that shit, but I also went at Bill Belichick. I'm be honest. Like, come on, man. This is just a weird behavior. I get we want a trophy wife when we're older and shit, as Smitty said, but damn.
You know, I saw that footage of Bill Belichick, I think, during his spring game where his significant other's on the field, and I'm like, hold on. First of all, that is not the Patriot way that I know of, you know. The other thing is
it's the Carolina way.
It's part of the staff. Dress in sweats. Seriously, dress like a football staffer then. Fine, I get it. But good grief.
Yeah, I don't get it. Steve, I don't know what you're doing later on. I'm going to be doing the draft, though. I'll hit you up if you're available. Maybe get Weddle, a couple guys, just to talk to the draft after they get a few picks in there underway. I'm going to bet some things, over-unders, where Shador goes, 2nd round, 3rd round.
If Shador drops out of 9, it's going to get that. He is the story of the draft.
He's going to the Giants, Steve. He's going to the Giants. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe all the hype.
No, Daboll's going to get fired tonight then.
No, he's not.
They might fire him early. And then the GM said,
Russ is going to start this year to protect his job.
You know who a future NFL GM is, though? It's the GM for the Giants' son, because he's been right 2 years in a row.
He wanted Jaden. He wanted Jaden, that little guy.
He's a bad boy. He's good.
Hey, Steve, enjoy the weekend. We'll see you next week.
We'll talk to you guys.
We got the great Kenny King on. I know you know that name.
Kenny King, 1980 Super Bowl champion.
One of the best plays of all time. 80-yard play. I know you remember that play, Steve.
From Jim Plunkett. Plunkett kind of scrambled, left the pocket, floated it.
Right over Herm Edwards, I believe.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then he was gone free. Kenny King. I think he was on the 83 team. So I think he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
2-time.
He is. Smitty's Googling
Everybody
it.
know that, JB. Everybody knows that, JB.
Smitty's Googling it as we talk, Steve. He never even heard of Kenny King. Smitty had no idea who Kenny King was before 10 minutes ago. But, Steve, always a pleasure. We'll see you next week.
Talk to you guys. Have a great
day. Steve.
Hey, Bailey, can we play the rest of the Savi video? Because I got to hear it full go one time.
Play the other one more time.
No, because anything I say, you're going to get mad at. So.
Nope. No, I'm not. You being a dick. You being a dick to me.
Don't manipulate me, okay?
You bitch. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke you. I will choke your ass like I did Skip.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. You know you like it. I'm going to choke your freaky ass till you stop breathing.
You can spank me. You can spank me all day, but I don't want to be choked.
Ain't nobody going to spank you because you like it. I want to do some shit you don't like.
Play the next one. Can we play the next one, the whole thing? Because I didn't get to hear the whole thing.
The next one's crazy. Homie said, yes, you do.
Looking like Skip. That motherfucker sounded exactly like Shannon when he came on our show, too.
He said, yes, you do. Don't tell me nothing different.
Homie, Savvy. Hopefully, Savvy getting through some health issues. Shout out to Savvy. Hopefully, he's getting back full go, man. He's getting back slowly but surely. Look at his content is back. We got the other video.
Oh,
here we go.
Well, what, Gabby?
Are you coming to LA tomorrow?
Why you
sound like fucking
Why you want to know?
I don't want to be choked, so
I might choke you in public and then eat my food while you choking. I sure might.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Well, that wasn't a good look with that punk ass shit you did to me. You don't get me horny and then say stop.
No means no.
Shit.
I wanted to be abused, but I didn't want you to put it in my ass.
I want the booty. I can't help this tight. You let all these other men fuck. I'm pretty sure you had it in your ass. Cause that wasn't that tight either.
Well, give me $50 million and we can forget about it.
I might put your ass in a full Nelson for that shit. I might choke you and pull a patch of your hair out.
All right,
You ain't getting no $50 million from me.
Take it out. He sound pulling a full Nelson, Jason. That's the funniest part.
You know, invented full Nelson.
Who?
If you get it right, I'll give you $1,000 right now.
Can I get a hand at least, please? One hand.
Too late. You're googling it.
No, for sure I'm not. Give me one hand.
Ken Patera, homie.
He gave me no hand. He gave me the answer.
Oh, my bad. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh yeah, I want.
You remember Ken Patera, the wrestler? He wore the wrestling outfit in the gym.
Let me look him up real quick. I don't think I know him.
He'd come in the ring. He'd come in, homie, and scoop you and put that full Nelson on you, homie, and clock them fingers in the back of your neck.
Oh, he was swole too.
Yeah,
I know it was him. JB, we might as well stay on now because I mean, let me know your thoughts. Because
yeah, let's do it. If you're cool, we got it.
Yeah, I'll hold it.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll hold it.
You'll hold it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Got you. Well, hey, listen, man, I can't thank this man enough. Phoenix Sports, Cardinal, covers all things Arizona Cardinals, NFL, and I can't wait to have his takes since it is draft day. Our main man, appreciate him joining us. Howard Bowser joins the show.
Yeah.
Howard, how you doing, brother?
How you doing, Howard?
Doing great. Draft day. Is there any better day than it? I mean, there's a lot of great days in the year for all the sports, but I don't know if there's anything that approaches draft day. And especially when I think back to 45 years ago, when I was on the first draft for ESPN, and no one knew what to expect. It was total. I don't even like being lost in trees and the forest and all those things. And I always remember back to what Pete Rozelle, the commissioner, then said when the new president of ESPN, Chet Simmons, who had left NBC for ESPN, when they approached and mentioned to Pete Rozelle that they were interested, this is only 2 months before the draft in like February, they're interested in televising it. And Rozelle said, why would you want to do that? Who would want to watch this?
I remember that.
Here we are 45 years later. So
hey, funny story.
Never gets old. Never gets old.
That's amazing.
Pete and my father grew up together, went to Compton High School together, Compton College together. I got pictures of them in the breakfast nook there. Unbelievable pictures I have. They all grew up on the same block in Compton. Pete Rozelle, my father, Duke Snyder, the great legendary Dodger, and a great Western actor, James Colburn. They all grew up next to each other in Compton and in the 50s, obviously going to high school and college. So yeah, Pete was he did say that. I remember. I was like, oh shit, he wasn't ahead of the time on that shot. But hey, let me ask you something, Howard. You've been covering this for 45 years, and you were on that first draft, and then Mel Kuypers and all the people have come along. Let me ask you something. Smitty and I have a debate going. Do you see the same hunger now that college has done what it's done with the NIL and the transfer portal when it comes to having their names called? Over the last 3 or 4 years, I've been saying, I don't think they give a shit anymore. I don't think they care like they once did. They already got paid. I don't know if the love is there. And obviously it's just human nature. I don't know. I'm not blaming the kid totally, but I just don't know if that hunger is there. Are you seeing anything change over the last few years?
I think it's something that's evolving. It's a great question. I have heard from different NFL people that with all the things that the scouts and the personnel people have to analyze going into the draft, when you look at obviously ability, that's number one on the list, but you also then look at character and the passion for the game that players have and how much do they really love football. And so now that you've injected the money into it from the college level, you do wonder, and that's something that teams are considering. But they've always considered that to a degree. How much do they really love football? And that's sometimes the hardest thing to figure out because, players can fool teams, right? But that passion for the game, the love for the game, that's what teams are really looking for with the players they draft. And that's the guys they want on their team, guys who are team first. That, yeah, obviously they're doing it to make money and all that, but you still want those guys that are team first. So teams have always analyzed that, but it's probably even a little more now because of the background that the players bring to the pro game. And so, and the other thing is, how many of them really make a lot of money in college? Yeah, there's a certain amount of them.
Right.
But
90%, yeah, don't.
Every guy coming into the NFL, you know, even if you come in as a third or fourth round draft pick, your contract, it still can be life-changing money, but it's certainly not what a first-round pick gets. But, you know, you're also pointing to that second contract where you can hit it big, as we've seen some of these deals that, you know, contract extensions that players have gotten in the last few weeks, not to mention the free agent deals. So that's certainly what a lot of guys are shooting for. But you're not going to make that money unless you really have that pure your skills and play at an NFL level, which is a huge, huge jump in every aspect, whether it's physical or whether it's mental.
Howard, you've been doing it so long. How do you vet that? How do I sit there and say, oh, fuck, how do I know the love of your game, son? Like, you know, that's why I missed the Gruden stuff when they had all the quarterbacks in there grilling them, especially that position. But, like, are we getting to a point where everything's on social media now anyway? We may be doing video. We may have Netflix doing a new series on bringing in all these players, especially the 16. I believe there's 16 that get invited to New York or whatever, or wherever it's at, Green Bay. Those 16 may have specific interviews to vet this, like, because you can't screen for that, right?
Well, you try, and that's where the good talent evaluators come in. And maybe I shouldn't just say talent evaluators, people evaluators. I mean, how different is it than any job interview where someone's who has the here? I remember Bruce Arians when he was 1 year at the combine. Someone said, what do you really gain from the combine? And he said, well, we try to find out what's up here and what's in here. And that's so important, but you can be fooled, you know, sometimes, but it's a gut instinct that you have for people, and just having that feel, hey, this is a guy who really wants it. Not only who wants an NFL career, but also understands how you have to work every day once you get there to get better. You know, the goal is, hey, get better today than you were yesterday, and continue that through your career. And you can try to find it out, but you know, you can't do it in a 15-minute interview at the combine. You can get a little more if you bring somebody in for a 30 visit to the team and you're around them for a little bit, but you still have to, you know, you still have to be able, you hope, to be able to figure out what all these guys are made of. And so I think those that have it, you can readily see,
right?
But then there's a whole bunch of others that you're kind of just playing a little bit of a guessing game.
Nah, for sure, man, for sure. I want to talk about, you know, the draft, you know, currently drafts today. You know, JB and I have been kind of talking about this for the last few days about, you know, what do we think is going to happen with the first round, specifically the first 10 picks. JB, he's a believer that he thinks something like crazy is going to probably happen with pick 2 and 3, the Browns and Giants. He believes that those are going to be like the kind of the picks of the night, and kind of decide like, hey, will they trade those picks back and try to do something there? I guess. What are some of your just thoughts on the draft today? And do you see anything happening with the first 10 picks?
Go to Vegas and play some craps, right? You know, right. You know, roll the dice. I mean, I always kind of chuckle when, I mean, there's so much discussion about all this. I mean, heck, I remember back in the day, way back in the day, when those of us who did mock drafts, we did one. We did one each year. Now you've got thousands of them out there. In fact, we'll have a mock draft after the draft for next year, even though no one even knows what the order of selection is. But
right.
There is so much chatter about it that you can get lost in all that information and noise sometimes, and think that you know what's going to happen. Well, no one really knows. And I'll tell you this, here's a little that everyone should realize. Even the teams don't know what's going to happen in terms of how it'll play out. And I always laugh at the word surprise. Oh, I'm so surprised that happened. Well, why should you be surprised? Haven't you watched the draft before? Sometimes I think that there are people who drop down from another planet, you know, have never seen a draft before, and think, you know, think they know it. But there's always surprises. But you're right. Those you know, the second and third pick, I think we know who those guys are going to be. It's going to be Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter. Will the Browns and the Giants stay where they are? Could there be a trade? I don't think that this draft, guys, there's a lot of good football players in this draft. There's not a lot of team changers, if you will, at least that you can really predict. And so when you have a guy like Carter, when you have a guy like Hunter, it's going to take an awful lot to be convinced to trade down and settle for somebody else. So I would expect them to go chalk for those 2 and 3 picks. And then I think the other picks that are really, be changers is maybe Jacksonville at 5. I mean, a lot of people have said that the Genty from Boise State, the running back, he's going to the Raiders. Well, don't be surprised if the Jaguars take him. Don't be surprised by anything. And so I think there's some inflection points in this draft where you just don't know what's going to happen. And then the thing is this. I mean, Gil Brandt told me this once, the late, great Hall of Famer Gil Brandt. There's not 32 players with first-round grades. There never is.
Nope.
But there have to be 32 guys taken in the first round. And he once told me once you get to the middle of the first round, there's not that much difference between those guys and then guys who are taken in the middle of the second round. And that's where, a lot of wild things that can happen. And I think we'll see, quite a bit of that when it kicks off this evening.
Let me ask you this. That's a great breakdown there. One name that keeps getting brought up, and this probably is going to be the news of the night, is Shedeur Sanders. It sounds like, man, a lot of people are saying that Shedeur will not be a top 10 pick based upon needs of the teams and just kind of the different mock drafts there. Do you agree? Where do you see Shedeur Sanders falling, I guess, tonight? Is it possible that he falls out of the first round?
It's possible. I don't think that'll happen because I think if he starts, quote, sliding, and I think a big thing is sometimes it's not about the player. It's about what teams are looking for. Now, that doesn't mean that some teams aren't looking for a quarterback. But I also think that there's a pretty good second tier of quarterbacks that teams believe that they could possibly get in the second round. Now, having said that, you could see some trades back into the late first round by some of those teams to get a quarterback like Sanders, or maybe even one of the other ones that are available. So he will be, I think, one of the huge stories of the draft, and where he goes. Some of the things that have been said about him, I think, are unfortunate because there's always this stuff that's thrown out there. You don't know what the agenda is or where it's coming from. And so, but, you can make a case for the Saints. I don't know that they'll do that. You can make it, a lot of people think the Steelers might jump on him at 21, which is certainly a possibility. But that would surprise me if he gets out of the first round. But I'll say this. I know ESPN did, or maybe it was NFL Network, whoever it was, did something in the last week or two on the 1984 draft when everyone thought Boomer Esiason was the top pick in the draft, top quarterback in the draft, and all of a sudden he slid totally out of the first round, and the Bengals ended up with him, and he had a very, an excellent NFL career. So those things happen. It's just the reality of it. And the interesting thing with this draft is where last year you had 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12, which all the other teams that weren't looking for a quarterback loved because it pushed players in other positions to them. Right now, if Cam Ward goes and then Shedeur Sanders isn't taken, well, all of a sudden the team's sitting in the middle of the first round or at 10 or something like that. They could theoretically get a lesser player than they would have gotten if there were a lot of quarterbacks available. Or there are a lot of quarterbacks available, but not to the level of last year. So all those things I think are going to be very intriguing at what we watch and see this evening.
Let me ask you this. The running back class is heavy, maybe the deepest in the draft, maybe the deepest in a while. Genty, in my opinion, you have to absolutely love him to make a swap from 6 to 5 if you're Pete Carroll and the Raiders to take that Jacksonville pick if you really think Jacksonville might snatch him up, right? Because there's other backs available for Pete Carroll to say, all right, I'm not gonna make a dramatic deal here in a trade to move up one spot to lock up Genty, because I think that's the earliest he goes, unless the Giants have some sort of reckoning for losing Saquon and have to appease the fan base and say, we're taking Ashton Genty, which I predicted a couple weeks ago that could happen. I don't see it anymore, but you got to be in love with Genty as good as these other backs are, right?
No doubt about it. And the thing that's interesting is that the first thing I think when you mention the Giants is when a new running back comes in, they're probably going to be pretty good right to start. But will the Giants want to reach another situation potentially to have with him 3 or 4 years down the road?
Exactly.
Good point,
Like
too,
they
yeah.
had with Saquon Barkley, because that's where the issues begin. When that running back comes close to that next contract. We saw the Rams invest heavily many years ago in Todd Gurley. That didn't work out for them in that second contract. Even the Cowboys, even though Ezekiel Elliott had some good years after that first contract, he wasn't the same guy. And that usually happens with running backs. We're seeing it now with James Cook, the Bills. I mean, he's a guy who wants a new deal, and the Bills are saying, "Whoa, let's." It's not that they're saying they don't want to give him one, but they don't want the money that the guy is looking for. So teams do look down the road in the draft, but I don't think the Seahawks would trade up because, like you said, there's a whole bunch of other guys, and they probably feel that they can wait until
the Raiders now. Sorry, the Raiders with Pete Carroll. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's true. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
They can figure they can get a running back later. I mean, we see all through the draft, running backs that came in a later round that ended up being players for a long time for teams. I mean, heck, Alvin Kamara is still playing for the Saints, and he was a 3rd round pick. So you can get good value, and there are a bunch of good running backs, like you said, in this draft. So I don't see the Raiders, doing something like that. Now, maybe if the Jaguars didn't want that much for that pick, but anytime you give up something to move up, then you're losing an opportunity to add another player to a team. And if you're the Raiders, you need players, and you don't want to give up that draft capital unless it's really something great and you don't have to give up too much.
Hey, Howard, Smitty and I did a mock draft. We're going to show you to try to get your take on it. But before that, though, I want to ask you, not a mock draft, but a top 10. I want to ask you, the fact that the wideout crew this year is not as good or deep as we've seen, probably not as even thought about as well as we have. O-line as well. I don't think there's a big-time game-changing tackle in this draft. I just don't. I haven't watched especially the top-tier guys. How much does that affect these other teams' decisions? Because offensive line is always premium, especially when you have a young QB like New England or one of these teams that you got to protect his blind side. If there's not that, though, are you taking does it go straight to best player available over the last 45 years that you've witnessed when there is down positions in the draft? Because there's a lot, in my opinion. Running backs are heavy. DBs aren't as good as normal. Wideouts aren't as good as normal. And O-line. That leaves me with a heavy pass rushing draft, which we do have. And are we going to see what we saw last year in quarterbacks this year with pass rushers?
Very well could be. Sometimes those guys are a little hard to evaluate. I mean, they're not hard to evaluate, but they're hard to project sometimes because there's so much expectation that if you pick that edge rusher, he's going to walk on the field and get 12 sacks. And it's a lot, it's a lot harder than that. But there will be a good run on edge rushers, especially depending after Abdul Carter, who's the next one that goes, because we see those runs in the draft every year. Even, we saw it with tackles last year. There were 4 tackles taken in the top 10 players. But you can only pick from what's available. And when there's so much bunching up at a lot of positions, well, you just got to go with your gut and say, okay, this tackle might not be, all from last year, but he's the best available. So we've got to take him. Some of those edge rushers have some injury questions about them, but it really makes this draft because of, like I said, there's so many guys at different positions that are close. I mean, even the wide receivers, you mentioned last year, there were 3 taken in the first 9. And then there wasn't another one taken until Brian Thomas Jr. at 23. But guess what? From 23 to 37, there were 7 receivers taken, including Thomas. So there was that secondary run on that position. And so we will see that at different positions. The edge rusher might be a little bit, ahead of those other ones. But we also see, as I see your top 10, we also see a guy like Armand Membu, who you have at 6. There's a guy in another year, he might not be a top 10 guy, but he's one of the best tackles available. So he probably will be. A lot of mocks have him going to the Jets, but who knows about that? But that's a pretty good list there. I don't know if Tyler Warren will go that early,
And that's I was going to ask you that right now. That's my shot in the dark. I could see the Patriots taking a tackle here. If I had to bet on it, I would say they took a tackle. But at the same time, I know they've been trying to replace Gronk for some time. Not saying that Warren is. But a safety blanket near the line of scrimmage for a young quarterback is a big, big piece, integral piece to a QB's development as we get older here. And they don't have any wideouts in this draft because we know the New England needs some edge. They need some outside help. But at the same time, Warren can change the game, and that's a shot in the dark here. But I was going to say, due to the lack of wideouts, though, does Tyler Warren get overdrafted because everybody wants a Brock Bowers? I just can see him moving up for that reason. That's all I had him on there for.
He might be. I mean, and that's the thing about it. You can make a case for just about anything. Yeah. And so, I mean, he's going to be a first-round pick. Obviously, where it is, we'll see. I see Jackson Dart at 9. That's a little bit of a shot in the dark, but I think he's in that next tier of quarterbacks. I'll say this, in 4 years from now, one of these guys from that next tier, whether it's Milroe from Alabama, whether it's Dart, whether it's Shuck from Louisville, Will Howard from Ohio State, one or multiple of those guys are. I'm sorry.
No, Shuck, I like him a lot.
Yeah, probably there's just as good a chance of one of those guys, depending on where they go and the fit and the players around them, that could end up being more productive than Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. That's the beauty, of this all, that no one can predict the future, and no one can predict the stability that some of these teams will have with coaching, with offensive coordinators. I looked at this the other day, and we talk every year about how many new head coaches there are in the NFL every season. Well, what that also produces and creates is a lot of change in offensive coordinators. Right now, half the league, 16 teams will begin the season and begin off-season workouts with a different offensive coordinator than they had last season.
Wow.
And so that's a lot. And it's pretty close to that every year. And so when we have an off-seasons and training camps that don't have there's not a lot of time, there's not a lot of contact or any of those things. And yet when the season starts, everybody expects these teams and players to be ready to go and be going at all cylinders, which just isn't realistic, especially for those teams that have made significant changes in their coaching staff.
That's a great point, Howard. Something you mentioned earlier was that at this point in time, nobody really knows where any of these players are going. Not even the teams know. So when we hear all this pre-draft news come out, these storylines of the Raiders really like Ashton Genty, or this team likes this guy, is all that just hearsay? Is that just news getting put out because teams want to confuse other teams, and it's it's all a play to try to confuse people?
Some of it is that.
Okay.
I don't think there's that much talking that really goes on with teams, but there could be, a little bit of it. But most of it is just the chatter that there is and how pervasive it is. And then you throw in, to me, one of the biggest, most laughable are the betting odds. Is that all these people talk about the betting odds and write stories about it? Well, this guy's now, he's the best, shot to go to the Patriots. Well, all the betting odds it's based on what people are wagering already. And so, a lot of people look at it and they say, well, I'm going to bet on this guy to go to this team because there's good odds, and I'll make a little money if I happen to be right. And I hope they're not betting a lot of money on this stuff, because you're going to lose it most of the time. So those are the things that drive the conversation, that drive the chatter. But for people to think that any of these, and don't get me wrong, I think that Mel Kiper and Daniel Jeremiah and all these people that study the draft really hard, they do an excellent job of evaluating players. But they can't evaluate each one for how they'll fit with each team. And that's the most important thing. And every team's board looks totally different than the other. And I've often said this: if you took the top 5 after Abdul Carter, if you took the top 5 edge rushers after all that, after him, and then took a look at every team's board, you'd have so many different orders that would make your head dizzy. And so I don't think there's any insight. There's no inside information on what a team is truly going to do. And all we have to do is watch the draft and see that every year. You can see that. And so, but it's fun to talk about all the mock drafts. I mean, I love when people do, here's my 7-round mock draft. I would love sometime to take the time, which wouldn't be worth my time, to go through someone's 7-round mock draft and see how many guys they really got right. It wouldn't be very money.
Yeah, it's greater odds to win the lotto. Yeah, it's like the lotto. Yeah, let me ask something, Howard, real quick. The speaking of where you are, you cover the Cardinals more in depth. You're there, Arizona. Let me ask you I believe at 16. Show the order, Bailey. I believe at 16, getting Kyler Murray extended and all these other things. A lot of holes there in Arizona in the NFC West that's getting better and better on each team. See what happens in Seattle, but Frisco we assume will be back. LA, the Rams could be one of the top 4 or 5 Super Bowl favorites. Where are you at 16 with Arizona? Can you see them moving up and trying to get into the top 10 area?
I don't think they'll move up. Now, a lot of times what drives that is if all of a sudden a player is sitting there at 10 or 11 or whatever it might be, and they thought that they would go in the top 5, that maybe there'd be a move. But I think Monty Ossenfort, the general manager, is a pretty patient guy. And I think they've put their board together. And I think the heavy emphasis is on in the trenches, offensive or defensive line. Doesn't mean they won't go somewhere else. But he's a guy, I think, that he has a pretty good feel for his board and knows that there's going to be a really good player for them at 16 and that he'll let the board come to them. And I think we'll see a good amount of that. You know, everyone talks about, well, trade down. Well, you have to have someone who's willing to trade up. And what you have to have there is a player. And I saw you guys had on Mike March recently. I remember when I was in St. Louis, and he said, the biggest thing I've learned as a head coach from my personnel people is there's very few, if not any, gotta haves. Oh, we gotta have this guy. We gotta have this guy. And that's where you can go wrong sometimes. So I believe they'll stay where they are. I think it's going to be an offensive lineman. In fact, I wrote a story on the Cards Wire that I do some work for that just posted this morning that I think they should pick Tyler Booker, the Alabama guard. You know, it's really, you mentioned the Cardinals having a lot of holes. They do have needs, no question. Every team does, but they've done a good job building this roster over the last 2 years. They've done a good job in free agency, filling in some of those holes. One of the big questions they have is who's going to be the right guard when the season begins. Right. And Tyler Booker is a guy who checks every box except for maybe a little bit on athleticism, but he ran a slow 40. Boy, when was the last time you saw an offensive lineman run 40 yards in a straight line? But every other box he checks in terms of passion, the guys the Cardinals like to look at, quote, a plug-and-play guy, a leader in college, and a guy who just absolutely loves the game. I think he should be their pick. I don't know if he will be. I don't know if he'll still be there. I think there's a good chance he will. But to me, that should be the guy that they take at number 16 overall. And the interesting thing, there's a guy named, a lot of people haven't heard of, Duke Manyweather. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly.
Eddie Manyweather, brother. Okay.
And he works with offensive linemen in the pre-draft run-up. And Booker worked with him mostly because he played left guard at Alabama. And he knows that some teams might want him to play right guard, and which the Cardinals would. And that's what he's worked on throughout the offseason. And here's the little historical note. Zach Martin, the Dallas Cowboys, perennial all-pro guard who retired this offseason and is probably heading for Hall of Fame discussions starting in 2030. When he came out of school from Notre Dame, he was a tackle in college. Yep. But everybody targeted him for right guard. And guess who he worked out with before the draft, learning a little bit the nuances of that position? Duke Manyweather. Ooh. And so at 16th pick, which is what the Cardinals have. So it'd be very interesting if history repeats itself a little bit here.
That's a great nugget. Go ahead, JB.
Yeah. Nah, before we get him out of here, Smitty, you got a question? I wanted to ask him one thing because we'd be remiss if we didn't ask him. We got to ask you about America's team, right? The Cowboys, do you see them making a splash since they've been really quiet last few years? They haven't even made the play. Like Jerry Jones got a shit to get off the pot, right? Like this is a move where he can make a splash. He's already alluded to it maybe. I know they need a back. They need another receiver. They lost their center, offensive line-wise. Where are we at with the Cowboys? What do you not predict, but what do you see them doing? You see them moving up or even gathering more picks?
it could go either way. And, Jerry, the one thing we do know, and you don't have to predict, is that Jerry Jones will always be in his lifetime the face of that franchise. And is always talking. And I know in the last couple of days he came out and said, "Oh, I'm working on 2 big trades."
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. How about getting Micah Parsons' contract done?
Right.
Last year they stayed on the pot until almost the season started to get the deals done for Dak Prescott and CD Lamb.
Yeah.
And it prevented them from doing some things in the offseason, which they haven't done a whole lot of, this year. So they have a lot of work to be done, and they remain, quote, America's team. But boy, there hasn't been a whole lot of true success over, after that run of Super Bowls. And he realizes it. He obviously, I think he wants to win. I'm not sure if he really knows how to win. And so, but that makes anything they do, open to guessing. It is a big guessing game, this whole certain amount, this whole player evaluation process, but especially the draft. And so they have needs, like you said. They'll do their best to fill them. They have, brought a lot of quality players to that team. But I will say this, when they were really good and winning 11, 12 games for a stretch of time here in the last decade, most of the time was because they had a great offensive line. And that hasn't been as great recently. And look around the league. I have a thing, guys, called collective amnesia. And that is that everyone talks about something and then later they forget what they said.
Yeah.
And now the big conversation is offensive line, defensive line, win in the trenches. You got to be able to do that. That's always been the case in football. And then what happens is the season starts and the offense doesn't play well. And all of a sudden, does anybody blame the offensive line on the outside? No. They're saying, oh, the offensive play caller, it's his problem. It's the quarterback's problem. Well, as Andy Reid said during Super Bowl week, one of the great quotes, someone asked him about Howie Roseman, the Eagles general manager, who, of course, he worked for when he was with Philadelphia. He said the thing that was great about Howie is he knows the importance of the trenches and then does something about it and works to improve both the offensive and defensive line. And boy, did we see that in the Super Bowl, how important it was to dismantling the Chiefs. And as Reid pointed out, no matter who you have on offense, quarterback, receivers, running back, if you don't have that offensive line, you can't be consistently productive. And so that's always the key. It will be in this draft to a degree. And so, but that's what makes it always so fun to watch. And as getting back to what I was talking about with the Cowboys, they've lost a bunch of really good players on that line over recent years. And, there's a question of whether they've really replaced them with high quality players, and keeping that line together is really hard, especially in this age of free agency and injuries hit. Man, it's really difficult. But the teams that manage to do it are the ones that you can see are successful on the field consistently.
Man, that's amazing. Howard, we can't thank you enough, man, for hopping on here. You are amazing. We're going to have to get you back on again, man, at some point to just, break down all the things in the NFL. And I know you're looking forward to the draft. We are as well, JB.
Yeah, Howard, I'm doing a live draft party. We'll have former NFL guys joining the show tonight and stuff. So if you ain't doing nothing, man, maybe I'll hit you up to come on talk about the top 10 picks or so.
Sure. Yeah, do that. Where are you guys located?
I'm in LA. We're in LA area. Yeah, but I'm looking at Scottsdale. Trust me. I gotta get the hell out of this mess hole. But
I moved here about 4.5 years ago, and after being in St. Louis for a long time, the summers are hot, but man, it is beautiful out here. So definitely look at that. Definitely look at that.
Definitely, it is. It's LA prices now. That's the problem. The LA damn prices now. That's a problem. Man, can't thank you enough, Howard. Hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Good day, guys. Take care.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good one.
The legendary Kenny King, OU Sooner, will join us right after this commercial break. Was in the same backfield, man, as legendary Billy Sims. So can't wait to ask him about him. Who was better, Billy Sims himself or Adrian Peterson? We're going to ask him that. We'll see you in about 4 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who spoke to every single NCAA college football 2025 team seemingly on the internet. From Last Chance U, national champion, Coach JB.
Yeah,
Coach.
What's up, gentlemen?
Coach, just great car, great stick. Thank you for pulling off to the side of the road. Hope you don't get killed here. Honestly, side of the road, LA, I assume that's not necessarily the safest place on earth. So we'll make this quick. How do you feel about all of these new coaches now in this NCAA College Football 2025 game using your speeches to motivate these boys from one side of the...
I feel broke.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Can I get like a royalty or something? Like, Netflix already screwed me. I'm getting screwed by EA Sports now too? Like, holy shit. I hit him up. I reached out to him like, hey, trying to be cordial and nice. I'm a nice guy, you know me.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, EA Sports, maybe I can actually be your video guy, the actual do a real video instead of using my name, image, and likeness.
Oh, shit.
And maybe I can get a little piece of the pie, but nah, it's all right. Just keep sharing my 500 million views of it.
I don't mean to laugh at you, but obviously you are a hilarious, miserable person, and this is kind of is how it goes.
Hey, Pat, I was actually chilling. My back went out yesterday, so I didn't even do my show today. So I just left my chiropractor, and I'm waiting on this damn cigar company to open. They're late, of course. I mean, come on.
Shit.
Okay, so life is good. Last question for me, because I know the last time we talked to you, you had not watched the Netflix series Last Chance U. You said that. You said, I've not watched it, but obviously you've heard from everybody. Now, do you see some clips that come across your way? You're like, I don't remember saying that. And then all of a sudden, oh, I killed that. And do you judge your clips whenever you see them? You're like, I murdered that one.
Nah. A broad came over to the house the other day, and I didn't really want to watch Netflix with her and chill. But she wanted to watch the show. We watched one episode.
Okay.
And I'm like, I can't watch this.
Okay.
And she was like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. It was the first scene of the cow scene or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, they only made about $4 billion off my name on this shit. I'm not watching Netflix either. So I'm spiteful right now, Pat. I don't want to watch Netflix. I don't want to watch EA Sports video game. I'm like, man, and I can't even get 40,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Well, you're going to the moon. We appreciate the hell out of you, Coach. Hopefully it'll get figured out, and we know the Netflix and chill thing, what that leads to. Bad backs, chiropractors. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach JB.
Yeah, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Don't be copying me, homie, when we come back from commercial.
I didn't see you, homie.
You over here bobbing your head the same way I was bobbing my head. I need a beat. I'm trying to make a song. Give me the homie number, homie.
Who?
Oh, have you talked to him?
Oh, Spree?
Spree, homie. He make beats. Homie, Spree.
All right.
Damn. Or tell him to hit me up. Somebody needs some beats. I'm trying to rap on I need a hard beat, though. I need something hard. I'm trying to make a song in the next month. It's going to be crazy. So I'm really spit. I'm going to the studio, record it, keep professional, all that.
We're trying to get Kenny in, right, Smitty? I think Kenny King is in the backstage trying to get his camera right.
Yeah, he's in the backstage right now, but his camera's not on yet. So we're trying to get his camera on here. So this TBD on that. But chat, man, hey, we got a half hour left. Make sure if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, become a member. And it looks like Kenny just got his camera on, JB. we might be ready to go here.
Man, I can't thank this man enough. Legend, living legend, 2-time Super Bowl champ.
What? I think he left.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he probably reset or something like that. He's coming back, though. He's coming back.
All right. Man, 2-time Super Bowl champ, OU Sooner legend. Shared the backfield with some legends. Can't wait to ask him a million things. Can't thank this man enough. OU legend, Kenny King, joining the show. Kenny, how you doing, brother?
Good. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're good, man. Can't thank you enough. There you go. Can you hear me?
Those legends I played with?
What was that?
I said, you want to talk about those legends that I played with?
Well, you won.
You are a legend.
You are a legend. I gotta ask you right at the gate, Kenny. Best backfield ever. You and Sim, Billy, or was Adrian Peterson considered? I know we all talk about it, but who do you take? Who do you take? Billy Sims, Adrian Peterson?
You know, they're both great. Two great running backs, okay? And two different eras. Both of them were, you know, I don't want to have to pick one or the other because they're both, you know, both excellent athletes. I got a chance to play with Billy. I got a chance to block. And, you know, it's like when you hit that linebacker and you feel that swoosh go right past you, that, you know, that's Billy Sims, and he's going down there doing that wiggle. And then I had, you know, then we talk about David Overstreet. David Overstreet was in that same backfield. So,
yeah.
I mean, I got a chance to play with some great players, and Billy was one of them. Adrian Peterson is an excellent player. I didn't play with him, but if I had to choose, I'm going to say both.
Man,
I love
that's a good
it.
answer. That's a good answer. Right there.
Hey, Kenny, you played in the wishbone, man. Barry Switzer. I mean, you guys ran an old school triple veer that I ran forever as a play caller. I was too damn slow and white to my running veer for my ass. I was in the fucking shotgun. I was Troy Aikman esque. But let me ask you, what did you see? What's the biggest difference now? You know, because all the wishbone is this new RPO shit from the shotgun. So what's the biggest differences that you've noticed in the college game from getting underneath center back in the gun and doing the same shit? That's really what it has evolved to.
Well, the wishbone today would take too much time, you know, and the play, you know, every team now, you look at Saquon Barkley, it's a one backfield offense. You don't have a fullback anymore. The fullback is obsolete. He is no longer part of that.
He's the new tight end that floats across formation, right? He's the new damn tight end, is what that
he's a new tight end, exactly. So, you know, I think that, because now it's like it's a roll read. It's a roll read that they're trying to get, you know, looking for that slant back, that cut back, that skip jump, you know, hop that they do now. Whereas with the wishbone, it was running basically either to your right or to your left, right at your ass, and you better be prepared for it because we're coming with, you know, you got that guard, you got the center, you got the guard, you got the tackle, you got the tight end, and you got the fullback that you got that's blocking.
No doubt.
Man, it's such a different style right there, man. So physical of a style as well. I know we in high school we played against some teams who would run that veer as well. There's always physical games there. I want to ask you, man, to kind of sticking with college for now. What would you say is your greatest memory at OU as you look back? You know, I know you've been in so many amazing games, and it may be something that's off the field with your teammates, locker room. Just if there's one memory that just stands out, what would that be?
I would say Orange Bowl 1978 when we got the chance to go and play Nebraska again. We were ranked number 1 throughout the season, and we went into Lincoln the last game of the season, and we lost that game, and we dropped out of the running for the national championship, which, you know, that's the NCAA and against Oklahoma. But, you know, getting that opportunity to come back and play Nebraska again in a rematch in the Orange Bowl, that was probably one of our biggest games. And, you know, and my wife is from Nebraska. She went to the University of Nebraska. So, you know, this is household.
Now, let me ask you this: did you find did you and your wife, did y'all meet while at college, or it just happened years later and just so happened she was in Nebraska?
No, we met at FedEx back in 2000, and we just kind of hit it off.
Good old FedEx.
No doubt.
But I'll tell you what, I think that you look at you look at that was one of the greatest. That was one of the greatest games, one of the greatest opportunities. But also, you know what, going to Oklahoma, getting there and playing with the players that I played with, there was 17 blue chippers from the state of Texas that left Texas in 1975 and went to the University of Oklahoma. 17 of us.
That's crazy.
And that family, that camaraderie lives on. I mean, to this day.
Nah, no doubt. Pride of Clarendon, Texas, man. I recruited the whole state for a long, long time, so they've always had dudes there, man. It's funny that you go to Oklahoma because Oklahoma had a big tradition. Colorado, Nebraska, and Oklahoma in the 80s, 90s were L.A., Compton, where I'm from, L.A., inner city, and all three of those teams won national titles. It's funny how they spot you. They always go to Texas, though, obviously right there close. Let me ask you a question that I've always been meaning to ask. Like you and Billy Sims shared the backfield, Overstreet, other legends. You go back some years before you, and we had the great Jim Brown, Ernie Davis, that whole Syracuse regime, and then they go and play Texas in the Natty, obviously with the race war divide, everything that was going on. How influential were those brothers playing that position to young brothers that came up in football wanting to be a running back? Was it big time then, or is that the Jackie Robinson for baseball players?
No, it was big. I mean, because you heard the stories. You heard the stories about the Cotton Bowl and Syracuse coming to play in the Cotton Bowl, and the things that were said, the things that were done. You're talking late 60s, early 70s. I mean, and these were some of the things that were going on, and that's one of the reasons I chose to go to Oklahoma over Texas. I mean, Texas was highly recruiting me, but I chose to go to the University of Oklahoma because Darrell Rawls made a statement back in the 70s, early 70s, saying he didn't need blacks to win a national championship. So this black ass wasn't going to Texas. I was going to Oklahoma.
Amen.
Because if you don't need me there because of my color, not because of my abilities, then you know what? Then we've got a problem. So I think that I look back at the history of the players who've made the sacrifices of Jackie Robinson. You look at the movies and things and find out what they went through. And for now we get this opportunity to come and play. We now open some doors as well. So it's not as it's not as visible. It's not talked about as much about what we've done, but we did it in our own way. And now young kids, I have kids coming up. Well, not kids. I got adults coming up to me now because they were kids back then that tell me, I went to Oklahoma because of you. I liked your style. I like what you brought. I like what you do.
Wow. That's amazing. That has been an amazing feeling, to inspire the next generation. I kind of want to just from my own knowledge here. You talked about, the Texas, coach and what he said as far as not needing black players, etc. How much just during that time, during that era, just how much, I guess, of racism was you dealing with at OU? Was there situations in games where going to away games where that was a factor, or was that something that never really, I guess, interfered with you during your time at OU?
You know what? I didn't see it. It wasn't there. I mean, there was no color barrier between at the University of Oklahoma, 75 through 79 when I was there. I didn't see it. I did not feel that there was ever a time where I was excluded or I was overlooked or I was treated any differently than the white players. And I mean, I'm thankful and grateful for that.
Yeah.
But I know that I've heard stories that other players did have some, have some issues off the field, around town, so forth, et cetera. Just, I guess when you're a star, when you're the star, when you're one of the star players, when you're one of the key players, you know what, you're not gonna face that. You're not gonna, you don't get that. You don't get that criticism. I mean, I think that, because, back in the day, Jackie Robinson, those guys, what they had to go through was one individual. Now it's more, it's more. There's more and more of us that are now as a, I don't know. It's different.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand that. Go ahead, JB.
Kenny, let me ask you something, Kenny. Like I tell Smitty and I argue about it all the time, and I'm from Compton, obviously. My dad played there when it was all white, and it started to transform into all black, and my grandfather let the first brother on the block, and shit, they burned cross on his lawn and all kind of shit. This is L.A., Compton, back in the way back. But let me ask you, we always talk about this, not to make this a whole race show, but in the locker room, we never really gave a shit. Like we never looked at the coach color, the players color, and we were always brothers and bonded forever. Do you still? To me, there's nothing more intimate than a football locker room.
When I was being recruited, in 1975, I'm being recruited by Texas A&M. I'm being recruited by Texas. I'm getting recruited by, all the Big 8, Big 10 schools and so forth. And when I got to Oklahoma, they took me to a club called the Blue Onion. And the Blue Onion was a big dance, disco store, club. And when I walked in there were white players, there were black players, there was Indian players, and you know what? They partied together.
Yep.
And I knew then that I was at the right place because it was no color. It was not a color barrier on this team. Because, and that's one of the things that I loved about Barry Switzer. Barry Switzer made sure that it was not about color. It was about your ability to play the game.
Yep, 100%. And that's why football is so beautiful. You talk about it all the time, but like I almost wish the world in our country could follow.
Or do the same.
Do the same thing.
Do the same.
We figured it out in the football space. We figured it
right.
out. You got 100+ people in here from all different backgrounds. People come from money. People come from poverty. People black, white, Mexican, whatever. But we all coming together for one common goal and one common thing that we love. And we put all those differences aside and we come together as brethren. And it's just a beautiful thing. I always tell JB, I never had a black head coach. When I played football, this in high school and college, and I never looked at that. I never even thought about that. It was never even like, oh, he's white. Like I didn't care. I'm trying to win, and we're trying to come together to make it happen. So that's a beautiful thing. Ken, I want to move transition to the NFL. Oh, I'm sorry. I want to move on to your NFL, man. Obviously, you're a Raiders legend, 2-time Super Bowl champion, and I'm gonna cut to the chase. You got one of the most historical plays in Super Bowl history. Can you walk us through your 80-yard touch? What's going on?
Oh shit!
Look at that game ball.
Look at that.
80 yards for a touchdown. New Super Bowl record. That's phenomenal. That's amazing, Kenny.
Did Jim throw that?
Jim Plunkett? Yeah, that old guy, he threw that to me.
That's amazing. Can you walk us through that play? I mean, I don't know if we can show it because I know YouTube is weird with like footage, but just kind of walk us through just your memory of that play.
I was not the designated receiver. Bobby Chandler was coming across the field, kind of like in a corner post across the field, and that's who was actually the play was planned to go to. I ran like a 5-yard out, just kind of like a drop off in the event that if something happens. Well, Plunkett got pushed out of the pocket, and when he got pushed out of the pocket, Bobby was double coverage. He caught double coverage in the secondary. I just happened to be on the sideline where Herman Edwards dropped. He was covering me, but he saw Jerry Robinson moving forward. He's moving. And the spike of that ball, I spiked that ball because I'd never spiked before. That was my first spike. I spiked the ball, and it went straight toward Dick Vermeil and the bench over there, because the night before the game, I'm out to dinner with my mom, my dad, my girlfriend, and Marion Campbell and his defensive coaches were at dinner at the same restaurant that I was at. There was two banners that was on the wall, a Philadelphia Eagle banner and an Oakland Raider banner. Well, after they left, the Oakland Raider banner was not there. And I happened to notice that it was balled up and thrown was on the floor. So I grabbed the banner. My dad's like, "No, son, don't say anything. Just let it go. Just let it go." I said, "No, I got to do this." So I ran out there. I said, "Hey, Coach Campbell, this is going to cost your ass tomorrow." Woo! And just so happened, I had the longest touchdown reception in Super Bowl history.
That's amazing. What a
That's
story,
awesome.
JB.
Hell yeah.
Who was guarding you? Was that Herm guarding you?
Yeah, that was Herman Edwards.
Herman Edwards was guarding him.
I have Herm on the show too. I'm gonna ask Herm about that one.
Ask Herman, because Herman. I have never talked to Herman. I've talked to Jerry Robinson because he came to the Raiders. I was on a Raider cruise with Jerry a couple of weeks ago, and every time I see Jerry, I say, "How does my back still look?" You see the backside of me, don't you?
Hey, I gotta get Jerry on the show. I'm actually good friends with Jerry as well. Jerry and Greg Townsend are real good friends of mine, man. So
yeah.
And those two are best friends. So we used to do events together. So I'm gonna have to get Jerry on the show, man. 'Cause I forgot he was an Eagle.
Ask him about that play.
Hell yeah, Jerry was hey, Smitty, Jerry was a dude too. Jerry knocked your dick in the dirt. Yeah.
Oh, Jerry was a hell of an athlete. You know what? I tell you what, Jerry was in that class of 75, this class of 75 players. I played with Jerry. I didn't play with him in any of the bowl games, but Jerry was a baller. I mean, Jerry was a hell of an athlete.
And Greg came after you, right?
Greg came after me. Greg came like 82, 83. I think 82 season was his first year with us.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, let me ask you this: in his draft day, I don't know how much you dove into it, but is there anybody who you want your Raiders to pick at number 6? Is there somebody that comes to mind? What do you think they're going to do?
They need a back, Kenny. They need a back.
Yeah, we need a back. I mean, Gentry is a great player. I mean, I look at it this way. The way they used to do it is who's the best player on the board at that time is who you got to take. Now, if you got let's say it's a quarterback, but you got a quarterback that you don't need. Okay, well then what's our next option? What do we need? Do we need line? Do we need a defensive back? Do we need an edge rusher? Do we need a running back? Do we need a wide receiver? I think this weekend is going to be a big change for us. Pete Carroll is going to do a lot of great things for us. I think the direction that this team is going in, we're going to get the best player. We're going to get the best player at number 6 that we could have. You look at last year, we got, we drafted a tight end, Brock Bowers.
Beast.
And everybody was like, "What the hell? Why did we draft Brock Bowers? We got the other kid last year from the second round. Why are we drafting another tight end?" Okay, well, guess what? He was the best player on the board, across the board. So you got to go that way. You got to go in that direction. My hopes, my prayers are that we get a player who is going to come in and make an impact on this organization this year, not next year, not 2 years from now, this year. Because when you're taken as a number 1, you're expected to explode on the scene immediately.
No doubt.
It is.
Kenny, before you get out of here, man, I can't thank you enough. I got to ask you, though, some legends you played for. John Madden being one, rest in peace. California JUCO guy himself. What was it like to play for him? And then you had Tom Flores, who I'm a huge fan of as well. What's the differences, and then what impact did John Madden have on the game and yourself and everything else?
Well, I didn't get to play against John. John was gone when I got there in 80. So Coach Flores took over in 79, and then 80, I got to play with Coach Flores. But I'll tell you, John came around. He came around often, and you could tell that he was a legend when he came around. I mean, the players rushed up to him to, shake his hand and just, shoot the shit and, chuck and jive with him. And, and that's what it's all about. And Coach Flores came in with a different style of coaching. I love the way Coach Flores ran the game. He managed the game because you never heard him yell. Never. I've known Coach Flores now, 40 some years, and I've never heard him raise his voice, but he got his point across. And I think that those are effective leaders. That's an effective leader. And I think that that's what we have. And, you look at the coaching staffs that are in there today. You look at the teams that are winning. Why are they winning? Because they know how to manage every player on that team. If you don't have the influence, if you're a coach and if you don't have an influence on those players that are you're coaching, you're not going to be successful.
That's beautiful. That's a real thing, man. Like you said, it's not necessary to always yell and cuss and do that all the time. You got to know how to coach your players and
coach your players.
Everybody's
I know how to coach you. I know how to talk to you. I know what's going on with you. I know your family. I know you know my family. Perfect. We don't sit down and break bread all the time together, but you know what? At least we have a dialogue that we can talk about, and we're friends, and I have respect for you.
Yep.
So that's what it's all about. You get these coaches that come in here and they think that they're gonna, because you're talking about multi-millionaires.
Money.
They're coming out. Wait a minute. They're coming out of high school now, going into the college and becoming millionaires. Now they're going from college into the NFL as a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
And how do you manage that?
Right.
Hey, I got to ask you that before we get out of here. You and Sims in the backfield, what the hell would the NIL deal have been when you guys played?
Oklahoma couldn't pay us both.
Dang.
They would have had to let one of us go, because I don't think that they would have been. I don't think that they would have been able to handle, to pay that kind of money. I mean, and then you throw Thomas Lott in there. You haven't even talked about Thomas Lott.
Yeah.
You guys then you got David Overstreet. Then you got Horace Ivory. Then you got Elvis Peacock. That's just running backs. I ain't talked about the offensive line.
Yeah, you guys would have transferred. Like, what you think? I know us generationally we loved sticking it out and competing and playing and all that shit. Nowadays, these cats are bouncing around chasing a bag of money, and there's never going to be another backfield like that. There's never going to be That's what it is. I hate that for the game. That's all I can say. I hate that for the game because it made us men.
Nick Saban said it very well. I got out, he got out for the right reason. The NIL is going to be the downfall of college football if they don't address it immediately. Me personally, and I'll say it, and I don't care who hear it, but I will say this. I think the transfer portal, if you sign a contract to go to the university or whatever, then you're committed to that organization for 1 full year.
No doubt. 1
full year, not I don't like it because I got demoted to second team. Now they done moved me from quarterback to wide receiver. Now they done moved me from quarterback to defensive back. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Darrell Ray came to the University of Oklahoma from Killeen, Texas. Darrell Ray came there as a wide receiver. Darrell Ray left there as an All-American defensive back and got drafted by the New York Jets, and I think like the second round. Okay? He paid his dues, made his due. The NIL, I think the NIL, I think that is something that should be controlled. I think the player should get a set amount. If you're on scholarship, you get a set amount for every player that's on scholarship. Not he gets 2 million, he gets 15 million, he can get whatever you can negotiate. I know these kids gonna see this and say that old man is crazy. Well, guess what? Yeah, maybe so, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you're thinking about yourself right now, but what about the future? What about the future of the game? Do you want it to still be there? Because I tell you what, at the rate it's going, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt college football.
It is. I think there's a difference. That's why Smitty and I argue about all the time. This respect factor that these younger cats telling us older heads, oh, you got to respect us, blah blah blah. Well, this is the thing. We respected the game. We paved the way for y'all to make this money. Yeah. And now you're not caring about the future and the guys coming after you. You're worried about this bag of money right now. The game is getting deteriorated in front of our very eyes, and I don't know why no one else sees it. I'm lost. I don't get it. But
hey, let me just say this. When I was at Oklahoma, my freshman year, 75, they gave us a per diem. I think it was like $15 a month. $15. Okay. The NCAA said, "Oh no! That's against NCAA rules. You can't do that. You can't do that. $15 a month.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
I went to Olive Garden and I had someone paid for it, and I was scared I was gonna get in trouble and lose a scholarship because I got my dinner paid for at Olive Garden.
Well, I will say this. I was thankful for my benefactor. I ain't gonna name his name either.
That brown bag.
I'll take it to the grave.
Yeah. Hey, that's when football was legit. That's what I missed that part of it. Shit, when Eric Dickerson and them cats was getting Trans Ams and shit.
Allegedly.
Hey, ask no question. I tell you no lie.
Well, I'll tell you what. I played in a golf tournament with a bunch of former Nebraska players. Yeah. It was a charity up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the first time I met these guys, they said, "Yeah, man, we came to Norman. And the dorm, our dorm is right across the street from the stadium." They said we went down Jenkins. We went down, I think it was Jenkins Avenue, and then we saw y'all dorm. It was nice. It was new building, and then we saw. It looked like a car lot. It looked like a car dealership.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey, Kenny,
yeah. Okay.
How much they give you, Kenny?
Well, let's say this. I took a cut and paid my first year in the NFL.
Man, Eric Dickerson said the same thing.
You had NIL before NIL.
Before NIL, and I tell you what, that's been what? Almost 50 years ago, and I've never revealed my sources. I don't have to now, and I'm not going to, but I will say this. I am thankful. I'm so thankful for the University of Oklahoma for giving me the opportunity to be a part of the Sooner family and, have that opportunity to play with legends and be a legend in my own right.
You're a legend, no doubt about it, man. You got some legendary stories, legendary plays, legendary film, you name it. Lived a legendary life, man. I can't thank you enough for hopping on, Kenny. We got to do it again, hopefully, with you. And hopefully, I wish you the best success. Hopefully, everything's good. And can't thank you enough, brother.
Thank you, Mr.
It's been a pleasure, man. You guys take care.
Hey, you too, brother. Appreciate it.
Peace out.
Kenny King, legendary.
That's one of my favorite guests we done had. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Mr. King, man, just kind of kept it real with us, old school, but be able to relate to the new school. Legend right there, man. We gotta have him back on down the road.
No doubt. I got somebody in the chat here. I wanna bring this up real quick and murk his ass.
Okay, what happened?
Dantes said so he cheated, but don't want kids to get paid. Come on, man. How did he cheat? How did he cheat? Let me ask you something real quick. You fucking micro thinker. Let me ask you something, Smitty, real quick.
Yep.
So he got money to commit to a university and stay there. What are they doing now with NIL?
Getting money and they bouncing.
And they fucking bouncing. But he cheated. The irony, as you guys would say, huh, King David, you fucking nobodies. Like, these motherfuckers are getting paid. You know what he said? I'm thankful as shit that y'all broke me off. I'm
thankful.
loyal. I committed. I'm fucking loyal. It wasn't illegal, King David, you fucking cunt. Shut up.
And you gotta understand too.
How was it illegal? How was it illegal?
Being a college athlete, yeah, you're on scholarship, but depending what your background is, you don't have any money. You don't.
Yeah, you fucking clowns will defend anything, homie.
You need that. Yeah.
You know what's funny is they fucking defend these motherfucking pussy boys until they fuck over their university like Nico. How funny is that, right? Oh, you're a Tennessee fan. You love Nico when he signed with Tennessee. Then when he fucking leaves, now he's a bitch and he fuck his family and blah, 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 blah. You motherfuckers are so fucking phony, homie. It's unbelievable. You didn't bash the kid at UNLV, though, when he left fucking week 4.
They did.
That's fucking crazy.
Shout out to Kenny King, man. We're going to defend my guy, man.
Hell yeah.
There's always some haters in the chat, always, man.
I'll bring Kenny back in. Kenny, screw these motherfuckers. You telling me that these kids getting NIL money now is legal? Get the hell out of here. I had to address that for you. Fuck them.
Hey, you know what? You can't change stupid.
I know.
You can't change stupid. He was raised stupid, and he gonna always be stupid.
He's stupid.
He's stupid.
It is
what it is. I deal with this stupid people in the chat every single day, Mr. King. So don't worry about it.
So, like I said, whenever you say something that different than what they want you to say,
yeah, exactly.
Then you're like you're wrong. Well, guess what? I played the game. I went there. I've done this. I've lived that life.
Yeah.
So you know what? Here's what I say. Here's what I say to those people: shut the fuck up. Go sit down. Don't pay. Listen. You listen. Go back and listen to your Fox, your fake news, whatever the bullshit that you want to listen to. But you know what? Get out of my face. Don't come at me with that, because you're gonna get your feelings hurt.
You know what's crazy is these motherfuckers will sit there and defend these pussies for transferring 4 times in 4 years after they get paid. But we took an envelope and said, "Damn, thank you, sir, for being so loyal to me." Like, I'm going to be loyal to you. It's fucking crazy.
You're fucking stupid, man.
I can go look. I can go out on a date. I can take my girlfriend out on a date. I can do things. I can go out to dinner, and that's basically what the money was for. Yeah. These guys now, they get $1 million. I think there was one player, I don't know who it was. He bought his parents a house. I mean, that's great. I think it's great. If you can do it, do it. But you know what? We were just getting a dinner.
Right. Olive Garden.
Hey, Kenny, we couldn't get a fucking job.
No. Illegal. Getting a dinner, getting some new clothes, getting a new wardrobe. That was
deodorant, toothbrush, this little stuff.
Exactly. The little things.
We had to stay in the dorm.
Yeah, we did too till our senior year.
Hey, girl, you want to go? I can take you to my dorm room, but I can't take you to the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here with that shit. These cats.
The girls at Norman was like, "Nah, I ain't going up there, y'all." I hear they be doing some gang banging.
They're not going up in them dorms.
Hello.
Hey, Kenny, man, we gotta have you on again. Shit.
All right, man. Y'all be good. Peace out.
All right,
man.
Gang banging them doors, JB.
Hey, that's why as a coach, I told my players, boy, if I catch a girl in your room, you fucking cut. You better not have no girl every day.
Gang banging, JB. I know you girls got flipped outside motels out dormant.
And don't let that girl come to your house.
Hello.
If you get caught, you better be in her house.
Right. What is that?
The lady Cara met Mike Shanahan in Denver at Del Frisco. He was happy to shake my hand. Didn't get the side eye until my drunk hubby.
Okay. Came back from the restroom. What's wrong, Jason?
Huh?
What's wrong? Why'd you get mad just now?
I just saw a new female in the room, and I just wanted to say hello. And then
I've never seen her before. Is she like brand new?
I don't know. Is it a real woman?
It's the way she's like typing. Looks like it's real.
You married though?
She said hubby. Hubby don't mean you necessarily married. Sometimes women just say hubby though. Or maybe that was her husband. She might be divorced now.
Maybe her husband's a fan of the show. Got her over here watching it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We need more estrogen, Lucy. You're right. We need more female. That's why I'm excited. I like to get females in the show.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same.
It looked kind of like Shannon Sharp's broad though.
Well, I'm gonna just gonna end the show off that note. And man, it's been a hell of a show, man. I
What
almost feel like today should be Friday. It's been such a great, this was a hell of a week.
Eddie, I've had Roy on the show, Eddie. If you weren't around and go back and watch it, I've had Roy on the show. Roy has my 2 dogs, homie. I talk to Roy all the time and his wife. So yeah, it's not a big get no more. But he's a friend. Not that he's not a big get. He's a friend. So I don't mean like that, Smitty. He's a friend. So like,
I get it.
You know,
the homie. It's like me getting you on my podcast. Like you a regular ass dude. Like you ain't nobody. Yeah.
But I'll reach out to Roy, get him back on. But he got my 2 dogs. Shout out to Bonham and Bailey, Ash's mother.
Bailey?
Yeah. Bailey's the female, yeah.
That's why. Makes sense. Makes fucking sense.
Oh, I didn't think about it.
That's why y'all locked in like this, subconsciously. Whatever you say, he gonna agree with. Y'all just naturally, huh? She said, he said, hey, y'all, I'm all women.
What does that mean?
Usually, I'm gonna be real. Usually when women say that means like they super just like,
wow.
Wow. Like they women.
What's that?
Like, you know what I mean? Like
you look at women's body like that?
No, I don't look at nothing like that. I'm saying usually when they say it, that's what they mean. I don't mean nothing when I'm just reading it. Oh, damn.
What?
Fuck. Never mind. Move on. It's in the show.
What?
It's in the show. This is fucked up news. It's in the show.
What happened? I missed something.
I'll pull it up. Fuck.
What happened?
Rest in peace. Rest in peace to Matt. She lost her husband. We didn't know that. So rest in peace to your late hubby. And
I don't know how to approach that.
In the show on a positive note, man. And then listen, we thank you for the show. Become a member, hopefully. And we like to have new fans join the show and everything. And I think that's all we can do, man. Shout out to my buddy, man. My buddy sends money. He gives people memberships. He just gave a membership out. So we appreciate that, man. Thank y'all.
How do I approach that?
You gotta find a way to flip it to like end the show with like something positive now. Like put something funny on here real quick. You gotta save it. You gotta do something.
That's not what I meant.
What do you mean?
How do I flip that and get it on my side now? Huh?
Well, I would never do this, but the only way to actually do it would be like,
what are you talking about?
What you talking about?
I'm saying like
flip what exactly?
Huh?
What do you mean by how did you flip it to get it on your side? What do you mean by that?
Like I get what happened and all that, but like we got to move on in life. And so I want to ask her like what's going on now, Lady Cara. I'm just asking, what do you got going on now? Is all I was asking. Hopefully you've recovered and everything. I just want to know what's next. I mean, like not like that, Smitty, like, but what's next for you is all I was asking. Like, you know what AE? You know what AE mean? Like any of that stuff. I just wanted to ask you, have you been a follower of the show for long?
I'm always curious how people find our show. Like people like that, like was she just on Twitter?
Was Matt, rest in peace, Matt? Was he a fan or?
Did somebody like D Jones send you the link? Do you know Lucy? I'm always curious how especially like women, because our show isn't like pro women because one of our hosts, whatever. But I'm always curious how it happens.
Yeah, I'm curious. Carl, what got you on the show? Like what hipped you? What got you, fan of myself or Smitty or AE?
She probably used to watch Speak for Yourself.
Huh?
She probably used to watch Speak for Yourself back in the days.
Probably last chance you or something.
She probably saw the Lil Wayne viral interview probably.
Probably watched Last Chance You. 400 million people watched it. I'm sure she was one of them. If you ever want to come out, visit the yacht or anything, Cara, get your mind off anything, let me know. Come on out. It's Long Beach. Well, anyway, Ruben, you coming through? Ruben will be here. Cisco's going to be with Ports. Hopefully Saturday, Cisco, we're going to play some poker. Waiting on Ports to give me the go on that. And hopefully, Carl, we'll hear from you later on. And we got the NFL draft party tonight. So make sure you come on over and watch that tonight. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, right? I'll come on a little early and get ready. So come on in, and we'll chill, have some yak, smoke a stick. I'm probably going to cook some food, and we'll have it for the draft. And BetUS will sponsor it, and we'll be doing some over and unders on particular players on who gets picked next and what the odds are. We'll bet it live. So pop on in. We'll see you tonight. Cara, hope you just come back tomorrow, and we'll talk more. See you guys tomorrow on The Realest Show on Planet ERF. Peace.